Yo. What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You already know what the fuck it is, man. Rise and grind, top of the morning to every motherfucking body. You know what I mean? Let's get into some shit, man. It's been a while, been gone a whole week, but fuck it, man. Let's go. And to be perfectly honest, man, I'm kind of glad I've been gone a week. J. Kyle salute. I'm kind of glad I've been gone a week because within those times, like the way my shit work, it's not like my material is contrived of a bunch of shit that happens within that day or within that hour. I am not breaking news. It's not what I am. I'm more like I like to be a fan at the same time where while shit is going on. I like to bring it all together and then boom, you know what I'm saying? Then put it all out there. If it's pertaining to a topic of one person, because boxing carries stories just like anything in life carries stories. And most of the time, them stories aren't just made up of one situation from one article. It just don't happen in that day. But anyway, I've been peeping a lot of shit that's going on. And to be perfectly honest, boxing is really hard to stomach. It truly is for a lot of reasons. Now, I'm going to be jumping all over the place and I'm going to be talking about a lot of different shit, but a lot of it has to do with current events. And it has to do with the current events of what's taking place in boxing and the current things that people like to pay attention to. And within all of that current shit right now, why the fuck is Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao the topic of everybody's fucking conversation right now? Why is everybody exalting that shit? Why is everybody acting like that's something exciting? That's something we should see. That's something we should be looking forward to. And nobody is brown nosing it. Nobody's dragging that shit through the mud. Nobody's looking at that shit crazy. Nobody's looking at that shit as crazy as fucking Gary Russell's talking about coming up 3 fucking weight classes, maybe even 4 to fight a fucking Terrence Crawford. Nobody's looking at it like that. Why is that? Why is it when it comes to Errol Spence, he should be getting 50-50 or 60-40, et cetera, et cetera. But when it came down to Anthony Joshua, who is proven, who had unified titles, who had a way deeper resume and did it in so much of a shorter time, y'all motherfuckers was talking about he should give up 50-50 to Deontay Wilder, who can't even fill up an arena. And that's pretty much what Errol Spence does right now. So really, that's crazy to me. So it's just like, so basically what I'm saying here is it's a lot of shit that always change and it get mad different. And nobody be keeping that same energy, and I just be sitting back and watching shit. Because if I bitch about something, if I say something about something, guarantee it should all be linear, bro. It shouldn't hop from here and go over here and hop over there. And I feel like if people are arguing about something, if they have grievances about something in the boxing world, it should be linear. It shouldn't hop from here and go over there, and then niggas would be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? We cool with this. This is great boxing. This is entertainment right here. And we not cool with this. Terrence Crawford got so much he needs to prove, and so on and so forth. And it's not about Terrence Crawford, because I just pointed out to you that niggas is trying to put 50-50 kind of money to a dude who fills up stadiums and arenas compared to a guy that can't even fill up a freaking a barbecue pit at fucking in Alabama. So it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So what I'm saying is, like that show Stranger Things, I've seen stranger things in boxing, bro. Because that's truly what's going on right now. And can't nobody tell me no different, bro. So I'm just like, yo, if y'all want me in a position where I'm going to put full time, I'm going to go hard at this shit, I'm going to go hard at this shit the right way. And everything about boxing right now ain't cool, and it's not copacetic. Because clearly, Ryan Garcia is a 135 fighter who just got dropped on his ass by Luke Campbell, regardless of how he came through it or not. And we give him his respect for within the realms of what that respect should be. But when we talking about Manny Pacquiao, who got damn near, who's an 8 division champion, who's been going through fights with Floyd Mayweather, who's fought your Oscar De La Hoyas, who's fought your Miguel Cottos, who's fought your Antonio Margaritos, who's fought goddamn, just because I want to say his name right now, fought that motherfucker 1,000,000 times. So Juan Manuel Marquez, I'm putting that shit out there to say this. What fucking business does that kid even have to be up there? And what business does Manny Pacquiao even have talking to motherfucker if he is even entertaining that? Which if he is, that should put an even bigger sting on Manny Pacquiao legacy, and that should put a bigger sting on y'all as fans if you embrace that shit. So you got a WBA belt, and there's hella dogs around you right now, and you backtracking to fight a kid who ain't even got his fucking feet together, who ain't got his hands together. If that's the type of shit we doing in boxing now, I don't want no parts of it. I start going talk NFL shit, and I leave this shit all the way the fuck alone. And that's in no way of me crying or bitching or nothing about it, but nah, bro. There should be substance to everything. Like, we gotta have some order in the fucking court. And this ain't what it should be. Wayne Henney, salute. Nathan Reynolds, my guy, salute. Mr. Jones, Tyson Fury is the king, and he's coming to smash that chump Anthony John. Sign the contract, little AJ. That's real cute. Wally boy, slip and move. What it do? So, am I the only one that's not seeing all of these problems? Like, yo, and don't even get me started with Mauricio Suleiman. And I'm not a fan of barbershop conversations, but that motherfucker gets some interviews. And I just happened to catch an interview that he did with Mauricio Suleiman like a week ago. He had him on there for a whole hour. And one thing about him, within all of his ignorance and all of his bullshit, the nigga can, in some ways, do some shit that's actually going to benefit the fans. And what he did was, he got Mauricio to agree to people coming up there asking him one question at a time, regardless. So I believe they asked questions that made sense or they didn't make sense. Some of the questions was valid, but you got a lot of information out of there, and you got to listen to this motherfucker flip-flop. So now we're going to say that Devin Haney isn't a champion at all. So what I'm hearing, and you know, Tiafimo was just full champion, and Ryan Garcia is just his WBC interim, and he get left out in the cold. And what you try to do, and what he tried to do was finesse that shit in there, leave Devin Haney out in the cold, make Ryan Garcia interim, and then try to force the fight on Devin Haney, while at the same time, he's not a champion. So you can try to like, but here's the gray area in that. Ryan Garcia gets to pick and choose whether he wants that fight, whether you want to mandate the bullshit or not. So is he a champion or is he not a champion? So if we're going to argue and bitch about purses, and we're going to bitch about what this person is doing and what that person is doing, yo, like, this shit is weird to me. But one good thing about it is, so I hear Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury is supposed to be taking place. Eddie from what I last heard, Bob Arum or something like that was supposed to send him the first draft for the contract. But then from what I heard from Eddie Hearn is the shit is already pretty much done. The only thing they was figuring out was broadcast, some shit like that. And most likely, 99% chance that the fight is going to be taking place in the Middle East. And then if that's the case, they're going to try to get the second fight in the UK. I don't see there's really no way around it at this point. But man, I'm just chilling, my man. I'm just chilling, trying to make sense of all of this shit in the boxing world that don't make sense. Now, if Manny Pacquiao is fighting Ryan Garcia, or if he even talking about fighting Ryan Garcia, y'all want to know why that is? It's the picture I got up there right now. Proper 12. It packs a knockout punch. Go get you a bottle. You will be asleep, just like that guy in the fucking picture. You'll be asleep, just like that guy in the picture. Manny Pacquiao just lost. When I made that video like a week ago, and I just had a thought in my mind or whatever about Manny Pacquiao and what was he doing with the WBA belt and how his moves isn't dictated upon what Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence what they should be doing, rightfully show what they should be doing. But at the same time, what's Manny doing with the belt? Because like I said, this dude isn't going to go. He's not going to go 2021. He's not going to fight no tough dude. He ain't going to fight no Errol Spence or no Terrence Crawford. He'll probably fight Errol Spence because I ain't even that hound dude. I think could beat dude for real. I think that could be the most valiant thing he could do is beat up Errol Spence, leave the game, retire or whatever. But you're not gonna go into you're not gonna fight, you're not gonna put this is what I'm saying. He's not gonna put himself in a position to where he risks losing. And then if he's planning on moving into whatever time they plan on moving in and making a Conor McGregor versus Manny Pacquiao fight, he's not going to make that. He's not going to do that. Trust me, it's business at the end of the day. It's fucking business. Nobody's going to fuck the money up. Conor McGregor and all of his cocky shit and everything, he happened to fuck the money up, which is a great thing for boxing. But what they trying to do is, once again, I haven't heard Manny Pacquiao say anything about fighting Ryan Garcia. But if it's as realistic as everybody else trying to make us believe, because it's on every major headline, that's because this nigga right here is snoring. The money ain't there no more. He can't get the money with Conor McGregor no more. He fucked it up by getting knocked out by Dustin Poirier, and he thought Dustin Poirier was going to be the easier move to make and be able to come out of it, make it look somewhat real, generate some interest going into a Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor fight. Because I'm fucking sorry. You could put both of those guys together. They're not going to generate no Floyd Mayweather McGregor numbers. They ain't going to generate no Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao numbers. It won't happen. And they want that shit to be a realistic cash grabs on both ends. But once again, Conor McGregor killed that. So you mean to tell me now the conversation is fucking Ryan Garcia? It can't be that. And if anybody is praising it, it's got to be a certain machine that's behind it, that's making this shit seem like it's okay, that's talking about this fight being an exhibition and all of this bullshit, that is trying to put all this propaganda out there and try to make y'all think there's some cool shit. Ain't nothing cool about this shit. Man, beyond child abuse, it's a fucking cringe. James Bell, salute. Beyond child abuse, it's a cringe. It's a cringe for anybody to even try to throw that in our face and then try to paint something on top of it like an exhibition and shit, like you're Roy Jones and like you're fucking Mike Tyson about to go in there and wage war. Come on, bro. These are two active fighters. One is in a position to where he could really be an undisputed champion if he wanted to try and go for it, and another in a position to where he could be a unified belt holder and in a position where he could be an undisputed if his old ass wanted to go for it, if he ain't trying to push to the freaking funeral. I mean, not the funeral home, my bad. To the retirement home. I'm like, if we gonna be if YouTube boxing is a big deal. Talking YouTube boxing is a big deal. And it's a big deal because you gotta curve all the bullshit, man. You can't entertain certain topics. No content creator should entertain certain topics. And if you're going to entertain it, don't entertain it in the realm where it's positive. Because this shouldn't be positive. Because this is the reason boxing look like a joke now. You got niggas talking about Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and every other fucking Paul that's running around. More than they talking about Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. More than man, come on, man. More than they talking about Tank Davis and goddamn Miguel Burchell. That shit ain't even mentioned. They talking about Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. That's no different than Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis. Why is it not? Because you like them more? It's clearly the same thing. This nigga, Mr. Jones, a trip. He said Tyson too fast, Fury is unbeaten, undefeated lineal champion. And the fight against Josh will be 50-50 in the terms of money. Top rank like Death Row Records. Well, the fight was going to be 50-50 regardless. That came out a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe you riled up and you super excited about this thing or whatever, but it's just another fight to me. I want to see this shit happen. I don't give a fuck about their money. This is what it boils down to me. I don't give a fuck about their money. I don't give a fuck about what they're getting paid, because they gonna get paid. They gonna get paid. Let's just make the shit happen. Because if everybody thought we was gonna put the shit behind us in 2020 and we was going to go into 2021 and there was gonna be all this majestic shit happening in life, all this majestic shit happening in boxing, oh ho, I'm here to tell you different. The rabbit hole is about to get a little deeper. Red pill or blue pill, you choose. You have now entered the matrix. J. Kyle says if some of these protected boxers will fight elite competition consecutive, they will have a few L's like McGregor. Absolutely, and I'm in no way adverse to that. I would like to see a lot of fighters fight elite competition, because you would see a lot of other fighters in the same position that you saw Ryan Garcia in when he fought Luke Campbell. Because you can't even undress these fighters and really look at them how we supposed to look at them. So if you think about it, an art of the sweet science is kind of like, it's kind of dying in a sense. Because if you're not continuing to capitalize on getting better skill for skill, and it's really just facade on top of facade painting on that, then you're losing the art. And here and over time, that is exactly what's happened. From the end of the 90s up until what we walked into now, people have started to lose skill. They started to get real carried away with the promotion and the pussyfooting. And now you're really starting to see an era where you're really exposing those who are lacking in a lot of areas in the sweet science, where we're completely knocking all areas in boxing where you should be great in: offense, defense, footwork, balance, hand speed, the ability to take punch, your mentality, all of these things, everything that makes up the sweet science. We just saying, yo, this guy's a puncher. Oh, he's boring if he's counter responsible, and things of that nature. So when I talk about ownership and people taking ownership, this is what I mean by taking ownership and what it breeds, man. So fucking crazy. Thankful we don't have to hear that dumb PAC McGregor talk. Absolutely, I had to get knocked out of there. And that's what I'm saying, man. The energy of the world got a way of making shit happen. But the thing is, people got to read between the lines, but you're so used to getting shit thrown up in front of your face to make it look other than what it really is, you don't even really know what to look for. And it ain't enough motherfuckers that's giving people game that's telling them, like, this is what they really trying to do in boxing. This is how they trying to finesse you, and this is how they trying to take money out your pocket. And they really ain't trying to see this motherfucker get his whole face broke up. Contrary to belief, I'm not saying I want to see a person get broke all the way up, but I mean, it's boxing. I like to see a good fucking fight. I'm not wishing nothing on nobody, but I'm just saying, we can't even get back to that. Like, it's changing. It's really changing. Like, Ryan Garcia is a problem in boxing for me. He is. Because in all of this so-called tough guy shit that people see, I see a whole bunch of prima donna shit that people, that is another area with his 8.3 million Instagram followers or whatever he got. He's a problem with boxing and shit. And he's going to be the skate. I'm not going to let him come dance through here with the pretty boy fishnet shit. You know what I mean? Try to fight niggas like Manny Pacquiao, and people try to exalt him and make him seem like he great after he fought Luke Campbell and shit like that. And there's plenty of holes in this game. And instead of fighting the tough guys around him, he's talking about fighting the guy that should be fighting somebody at 147 or should be giving up the belt and just going on about his business, because your business fucking plan and how you were going to outrate, how you were going to roll out your portfolio at the end of the fiscal year, that shit is officially changed, my nigga. It has changed. Chance Smoke. Salute, Brody. If Garcia doesn't fight Haney, then he's making a cunt of the process to the titles, and he's stolen the title shot from Campbell. And he didn't have any intention of taking a shot against Haney. And absolutely, that impedes progress. And that's my biggest problem. Are we out here to impede progress? Are we out here to make shit happen? Because regardless of whatever I might see Luke Campbell as far as his skill, or whatever. I never take heart away from the dude. I never say he's not willing to go out there and fight you or whatever. And if he's a guy who is going to continue to have boxing moving in the right direction, where it's like, okay, we're going to still see competition and the belts move in the process we need to see them. Real fighters wrapping around real belts. If that's what we're going to see, yeah, I would much rather grab that than this other prima donna shit, because if people fail to realize this dude is already talking about retiring from the sport of boxing at 26, and his whole time of being in it, he's never fought anybody. And he already talking about retiring at 26, and he's only gotten a silver title and a WBC interim title. He's never accomplished anything. He was first talking about fighting Tank Davis. Now this guy's talking about fighting Manny Pacquiao. And not once has it ever come out of his mouth to be undisputed. Not once has he ever really sat on the idea of, shit, I should make this Devin Haney fight, because then I can go ahead and get a Teofimo Lopez, because that's all Teofimo Sr. and Teofimo Lopez Jr. is looking for him to do. Because realistically, Ryan Garcia didn't do anything to put him in a position to say, hey, he should be the guy. They already did the hard work. They did the grunt work. They fought Lomachenko. They got the belts. The only thing left for you to do, and out of all the dumb shit Mauricio Suleiman does, he did. That was a smart move. But once again, it's in the choice of Fishnet Rock and Ryan Garcia if he decides to make that, if he wants that opportunity. So it's okay for fighters who completely impede the progress of greatness. It ain't about greatness no more. And this is why I have a problem with it. Because I ain't going to jump on here. I don't want to talk with y'all about the fugazi shit that happened in boxing. We spent all last year talking about a dude with one fucking punch and how bad we wanted to get rid of him. And the other half of people that weren't talking about it, they were simply talking about this nigga because they were enjoying him. And they was missing the fine details that he just don't have skill. It ain't we hating. It ain't a black or white thing. It ain't none of that. It's a he hasn't fought anybody thing. He don't care about the craft. He ain't even chasing these motherfucking belts. And we attaching a whole nother stigma on this side of the pond. Western Jedi mind tricks to Anthony Joshua, saying he ain't doing shit, he robotic, he ain't putting in no work. Everybody he fight is older, they trash after he fight him. Give me a fucking break. So who's impeding progress here? Because I see what's going on in Ryan Garcia division and the shit he doing. I see Manny Pacquiao, his plans is fucked up because he tweeted out the night that motherfucking Conor McGregor fought Dustin Poirier, good luck, wishing you the best of luck so we can have our fight, and you're looking forward to having our fight in 2021. So that was most certainly set in stone. So the plans were there. It was laid out. Only thing ain't dried is the ink. But it got fucked up because that nigga right there is asleep. Proper 12. It has a hell of a knockout punch. Hopefully Dustin buried these ridiculous MMA boxing crossover talks were good. Man, I hope he did, man, because for real, I made a mistake too, Jed, because I was going to put a big money bet on that shit and send that shit out to Gun Rights Mafia in Las Vegas. But I just was asleep on it. And I could have made a pretty good amount of money on that fight because I knew he was going to knock him out. I think Golden Boy making a bad move putting Ryan Garcia against Manny. He's nowhere ready for that fight. Absolutely. And the way they're going to dress it up, if he gets his whole fucking ass whooped, they would dress it up as, once again, they dress it up as an exhibition. And they're saying, hey, this is a young guy looking up to his legend. He wants to go out there and have his legend fight. And if Manny Pacquiao was going out, he wants to do it with a kid like him. And then they'll dress it up in Manny Pacquiao's, for Manny Pacquiao, they'll dress it up as, hey, you know, this is a kid I see with a lot of promise. And, you know, yeah, I was giving them the passing the torch fight. It'd be a fun thing to do. Wop, wop, wop. That type of bullshit. But the torch wouldn't get passed. Ryan Garcia knows the torch wouldn't get passed. Eddie Reynoso knows it. Canelo Alvarez knows it. Bernard Hopkins clearly knows it. Because Bernard Hopkins don't even see him as the best fucking fighter in his own division. And that's his fighter. Or a fighter that he's supposed to have inner workings and do business dealings with. D. Jeff, salute, Brody. Copy this thing to the clipboard. Yeah, man. I'm. It's perplexing, man. It's perplexing the shit that it's kind of like that's going on. It ain't really perplexing. It's just kind of like I'm shocked because now I've had a lot. I think now because I got so much more to do with it, and I've and going through it, doing all of the material I've done on boxing in the past couple of years for y'all and shit like that. Now I've gotten to see all of the bullshit, the hypocrisy, just the contradictions, the just the nonsense, and we're gonna continue to welcome it. If I were y'all, if I was telling y'all and y'all motherfuckers was to tell me not to spend my money on this shit, that could be the realest shit that we would be telling each other right now. Right or wrong. It's all kind of fools out here trying to give Ryan a pass on this two hands. More this double standard bullshit. It's 100% a double standard. And I was just saying that earlier because I said, man, I said if you want to look at boxing all across the board, the fighters, the decisions he's trying to make right now, then shit. Gary Russell should have never got all of the smoke Gary Russell got for saying what he said to Terrence Crawford. Bud Crawford shouldn't get no smoke about his so-called resume at 147, and there should be no smoke with amongst camps when it comes down to fight persons because everybody felt as though Deontay Wilder should have got 50 fucking 50 just for that fight that happened with Anthony Joshua. So I'm just saying, and it's way more to it than that. Like Ryan Garcia dancing to fight Tank Pacquiao, all types of shit. So I'm just saying, we gonna sit up here and act like this shit not going on, or we gonna or is it only mad at certain people, or because they might have PBC behind their name or some shit like that? It's their fault. Fuck out of here. It's everybody's fault at this point. About time he did something smart. Suleiman's a real cunt. Yeah, he is. He is. And the motherfucker got caught with his foot in his mouth so much on that fucking show, man. It was hilarious, man. From Alejandro Jimenez, the transgender in boxing, and the franchise crew situation, all the way up to pretty much every situation pertaining to the past 2 years when it comes to, you know, his mandatories, his interim champions, all the way up to the fights that they've been motherfucking mandating and shit like that. Like you gotta be a fool to think. Like it's almost like a mandated fight. If you mandate a fight that's supposed to be happening, it's almost like the WBC does that shit just so they could say, well, if this shit don't happen, I don't want no, you can't say it's me. But you're responsible for the franchise belt. You're responsible for fucking Devin Haney having a belt. You're responsible for the fucking interim belt that Ryan Garcia has. So for all Ryan punk shit and for all they punk shit, yeah, you're responsible because you created the malarkey. Man, I wish I would have made that bet too, bro. No lie. All a good morning, sweetheart. Damn, I wish I'd have made that bet. No, he's not. He don't want no part of greatness, bro. And that is the problem we have in boxing. And if people don't reckon, and if we don't get back to honorable matches and people seeking out fighting credible opponents, you are going to completely lose the art of boxing in a whole. Like I said, it's at a point now, and this is years of nonsense, that you completely don't know what you're looking at in the sport anymore. Look, like I said, bro, Brian Garcia and Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao, that fight shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? I would like to look at it as a farce, but but see, this is the thing. Because Manny Pacquiao ain't figured out what the fuck he doing right now. And Ryan Garcia is putting out all of this information saying it's pretty much done. He got a bigger fight than Tank and all of this other bullshit. Why is Manny Pacquiao not coming silencing this shit? It's buying him time. Like for real, a lot of motherfuckers is getting bought time, and they taking up positions that they shouldn't even be taking up no more. This dude ain't getting no younger, man. It's been a long time since he fought Keith Thurman, bro. Conor McGregor just in a position to where he survived in an era where the dudes that he was fighting at that time was just all right. These motherfuckers is dogs now. He couldn't beat no Max Holloway, no Dustin Poirier, none of them dudes in this area. He dog food. He doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Right there on that picture. Proper 12 has a hell of a knockout punch. People within the game can't be trusted to keep that integrity in the game. What a chance has a sport got. Karma can't be relied upon to look after the sport. Look, man, and I agree with that. And the sad thing is, I shouldn't have to be relying on karma. And I'm not relying on karma to be perfectly honest, but at the same time, I have to say that, it is some form of a subconscious kind of moral victory for me that that shit would get derailed and seeing this person get knocked out or and that changing the fucking plans of what's going on in boxing right now, because honestly, it's not enough. I don't have the answers to it anymore. I really don't. It's kind of like, boxing has put, the hardcore fans in a position for so long that we've been fighting on the defense. We don't know what the offensive looks like. The only offensive that hardcore boxing fans continuously have is that they make the hardcore fight and pressure them to make the hardcore fight. But within the pressure of trying to make the hardcore fight, there isn't a dilemma, because one group of parties want to see this person fight that person, and technically that fight might not make any sense. Like Charlo and fucking Canelo fighting right now. Like one person might be pushing for that, and then another group might find that bullshit. It's not like boxing as a collective of peers to where we all rallying saying, hey, this fight should be happening. Everybody should be doing this. It's a bunch of, I don't know, maybe it's a bunch of factions, small factions that's like looking for moral victories in a whole nother way, because I think it has to do with a lot of favoritism for pushing a certain type of guy, or favoritism for wanting a necessary guy to be doing something. See, me, I don't give a fuck about the guy. I don't care about the guy. I don't care who's in the position. I don't have who care who has the belt, as long as they real, because that's what all sports are supposed to be about. You shouldn't give a fuck about the guy. Now, if you're a fan, that's different. You should give a fuck about your team, of course. You're going to give a fuck about that. But even in fandom, there should be a level of reality here. But at the same time, even in fandom, how can we have how can people be realistic when people ain't even realistic about their own goddamn lives? So I almost got to be foolish to think that a boxer. But at the same time, if people want to motherfucker use boxing as an outlet and a scapegoat for all of the bullshit that's going on in the world, because that's what people use sports for, then shit. Can we get something of substance in the fucking sport to where it makes me want to fucking take my mind off of what's going on in fucking real life? Which not saying that I do, because I could give a fuck less about it. I pay attention to everything. But I'm just saying, boxing some bullshit. You might want to pay attention to the bullshit that's going on in the world more than boxing. That might be a little bit more entertaining. Everybody want it, but only so many gonna get it. But see, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Mickey Dub salute. Everybody want a piece of the pie, and that's the crazy thing. The boxers are too stupid to realize that they ain't even getting a fucking crumb of the crust. They not even getting the crumb of the crust, but they want a piece of the pie. Because here's the deal. It always goes back to the nucleus of what the problem is. You ain't trying to work for it. You ain't trying to earn it. Boxing is becoming about as socialist as the left. Nobody wants to earn it anymore. Give him a belt, give him a belt, give him a belt. Like if boxing was politics, I would have to say all of it, like in most cases, top ranking, the zone and the motherfuckers in most cases would have to be like the right and the PBC would have to be the socialist regime. Because these motherfuckers want all the handouts. We want the toughest fights. We trying to make money over here. We trying to earn it. Most of their fighters, not all of them. We trying to earn it, but over here in our socialist system, we believe in child lines, handout belts, like free meals. Jesus Christ. Emmy Award performances for most of these fucking boxers, for most of their promoters. It's almost like, yo, it's your fucking it's a nightmarish game of ping pong because you can blame this person and then I could fucking blame this person. Like if I said it's the fighter's fault, you could say it's the promoter's fault. Then the next person could say it's the WBC's fault. Then the WBC goes back and say, hey, we mandated the fight. They don't make the but the fighter doesn't want to take the fight, so therein lies his, like, yo, this shit is crazy. J Blue, salute. Pastor, Pastor Eric Miller, salute. Yeah, he's not. I agree with you. A motherfucker could talk. They could say all of the craziest stuff about Ryan Garcia to me right now. Would I be the motherfucker that's going to disagree with you? No, because I see all of the bullshit and what he's doing, man. Like I said, give them all a little bit of time, and they gonna show you what type of motherfucking bitches in their blood. Just give them a little bit of time, and they gonna show you. But here's the difference, though. Stop kicking your feet up. You got to pay attention to their moves. This the thing. These promoters and these promoters and WBC and all these motherfuckers, WBO, WBA, and all of their trickery and all these other motherfuckers, they think we stupid. They don't realize that we pay attention to every move these motherfuckers make, bruh. You can't spit on a sidewalk without somebody motherfucking reporting that shit. And we on it. But I don't know why they think we not stupid enough to be paying attention to it. The fighters know we ain't dumb to that shit, but the fighters got so much, they got so much protection and propaganda and being bodyguarded through all of those different excuses that I've just run down to you, bringing this shit full circle. That's the reason why it works. Yo, what's good with it, Brody? Hold on, man. Let me post this shit. I was supposed to post this shit a minute ago. That's the reason why it works, man. Have y'all had enough? That's the fucking question. Oh man, he wanted to sleep. Look, Connor's at the beach right now. He got his shades on, big drool hanging out his mouth right now. Proper 12 lifestyle. Y'all stop hating on my Connor, man. Y'all stop hating on my Connor picture, man. Connor living that life right now, Arlet. He living that life. My man living that life. Can't take nothing away from him. It's a hell of a life when you sleep on a beach that happens to be in the shape of an octagon. It's not about supporting Trump. It ain't about supporting left, right, or whatever. I'm not about supporting nobody. I'm not about supporting no motherfucking communist socialist regime. If anybody support Joe Biden, they a damn fool. If anybody support anything that the Democrats is doing right now, they a damn fool. That's in my personal opinion. But hey, you have the right to live how you want to live. All I got to say is in 4 years or whatever the case may be, it don't matter in 4 years, 8 years or whatever, because the right has its problems just as well as the left has its problems, but the even bigger problems lies with the left. All I'm saying is you gonna see the motherfucking problems. Just sit back. Cause if he excited everything, then why ain't shit changed right now? Cause I see still motherfuckers still riding, looting, and burning shit all over the motherfucking place. But this ain't about that. It's about boxing. Yeah, man. Connor having a good time. Look, y'all gotta understand, man. Connor earned the right to lay on the beach like that. Y'all leave Connor alone, man. Connor earned the right to lay on the beach like that. Intangible salute. Hey, like I said, and that's where it all lies. The problem is it ain't left. To be perfectly honest, it's not left nor right. The problem is both. The whole situation is divide and conquer. If you believe in pro right and you believe in pro left and realize don't understand that both of them, you know what I'm saying, behind the cloak of it all work with one another to fuck your whole lives up anyway, then you're sadly mistaken. But once again, that's for another story. That's for two hands in-depth topics about life. If I ever go in-depth on topics about life. El Jefe, the king troll and crack addict. Man, well, y'all welcome my son in the building, man. Y'all welcome my son in the building. He finally got to somewhere. He got reception on that Cricket Wireless. Yeah, Tank can crack jaws, man, but Tank can get his jaw cracked too. That's why I want to see Tank Davis fight a Miguel Berchelt, man. I would love to see Tank Davis fight Miguel Berchelt. I don't want to see him fight Ryan Garcia. I don't want to hear none of that other tiptoeing bullshit that everybody else talking. The real fight and the necessary fight that should be made right now is Tank Davis versus Miguel Berchelt. If you want fireworks, if you want great boxing, if you want one for the motherfucking history books, that's the motherfucking fight to make. And can't nobody tell me no different. This motherfucker said he thought I was talking about Conor Ben. Man, look, man, leave Conor Ben alone, man. He the GOAT, man. Conor Ben is the GOAT. And clearly I just said, if you believe that the left or right don't work for one another behind the cloak, you know what I'm saying, then you're fucking sadly mistaken. But once again, I'm not here to go in with niggas about politics in the morning because everybody think they so woke, everybody think they know everything, and really don't nobody know shit for real, for real. Every single one of us standing out this bitch with a big ass question mark on our head and think they know motherfucking everything and don't have an idea on how motherfucking shit in society work. People need to pay attention about working on motherfucking community and stop trying to work on the world, because if you motherfucking focus on working on community, then all of that shit's gonna branch out, then that shit'll reach and it'll touch. And then you'll motherfucking be able to motherfucking minimize a lot of the world's motherfucking problems by working on motherfucking your smaller establishments, but motherfuckers don't like doing that. Look, man, it's too early in the morning. I don't got no time for L Hooker. So I just straight block this nigga, man. Look, at this point in my life, bro, I ain't got no time to play with kids, trolls, or none of that. I'ma just start blocking niggas. And if you got the integrity to come back in 80 million different motherfucking joints, I will block the shit out of them too, dog. Cause like I just ain't got time for it, man. Like trolling is not a sport for me that I enjoy. It's not, it's like it's one of them ones that I could tolerate, but it's not one of them ones that I'm gonna sit there and just be like, oh man, let's keep going back and forth with a face that I've never seen before. It's corny. This nigga. Yeah, man. Hey, Conor Ben Daddy was one of the motherfucking greatest, one of the greatest fights I ever seen with G, man. That fight alone, that fight alone forever warrants he forever get my respect for that fight. Yeah, man. And it ain't even look. And the thing is, I've given that dude more platforms than man, I done gave that dude more chances than a little bit. It ain't even about giving people chances. This is about, you know, I guess on this day, I might be a little bit more intolerable than I'm tolerable. And it be like that some days. Like I just don't got time for no bullshit. Like and that's one of the problems with boxing. Like shit like that. Like I ain't here, man. Look, man. I'm not entertaining weirdos today. Like my block game strong, nigga. Right tackle shit. Right tackle the fuck out of a troll. At all times, man. At all times. At all times, man. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, that shit is legendary too. Or for real, George Foreman. Who was it? God damn it, who was it? Just 'cause I want to say niggas now. I'm forgetting names. This niggas this morning. I done smoked too much weed. Ron Lau. George Foreman versus Ron Lau. Probably one of the greatest heavyweight fights, if not the greatest heavyweight fight ever. You talking about niggas knocking each other on their ass and big hands being thrown? I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to steal that one. I'm gonna have to steal that one. So, all right, I'm gonna ask a question though. What would people think about Manny Pacquiao if Manny Pacquiao was to even entertain a fight with Ryan Garcia right now? That's the question. How would y'all look at this man's legacy? Because you know, Floyd get a lot of crap for fighting Conor McGregor, right? Floyd get a lot of crap for fighting Conor McGregor, but this man ready to do the same thing. And we got to remember that Floyd is actually a year older, a year or 2 years older than Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. And he get a lot of flack for that bullshit. But I mean, is Manny Pacquiao not supposed to be under the same type of scrutiny if he's continuing to do the same things? Like Floyd gets bullshit for fighting Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd's the older fighter, and he fought Oscar De La Hoya when Oscar was younger. But Manny Pacquiao went behind him and did that too. So I'm just saying, we're gonna point fingers at Manny Pacquiao if he is to entertain this bullshit. Man, look, that's the thing. But that's the thing though. I've been past that. I've been past that. He should have been, man. Look, I'm at the point where he should have dropped the belt fucking probably 2 months ago. 2 months ago, because nothing he's talking about right now is conducive to the motherfucking welterweight division. I mean, the welterweight division is kind of, you know what I'm saying, imploding all on its own. I mean, with no help to anybody else. But I mean, nothing Manny Pacquiao was talking about is conducive to the welterweight division. So I feel like he should have been dropped it. I love Manny Pacquiao, but I don't love this shit. Oh shit, my man in the back. Ha. What up?
What's up, dog?
Coolin', what's good?
Shit, man. Up early. Goddamn loud ass kids next door.
Yeah, man, I miss you when you called me last night, my G. I was passed out.
Oh yeah, nah, it's all good. I had some funny shit to tell you, but I talked to I
Oh, I'm gonna
talked to you
hear.
after this shit.
I'm gonna hear about it.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
gonna.
man. But this whole shit, bro, I'm glad you cooking on this topic because I'm getting ready to cook on it today. I wasn't even sure whether I was gonna do a video about it, post a live about it, but this shit, man, not only is it crazy, it's double standard as hell, fam. It's so double standard as hell. Because to me, Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya, they on some straight Floyd Mayweather tank shit. And everybody just letting it gloss right over like it's okay now because it's Ryan Garcia, but when it was Floyd and Tank, y'all had everything to say about it. Still got shit to
Mm,
say about it. But now it's Oscar and Ryan, and it seemed to be okay to accept these shows, these WWE events, right? Won't we just complaining about this for years? Now y'all get ready to accept it because it's Ryan, and it ain't, so it's only a problem if the PBC guys do it, right? Come on, man, this shit's stupid as hell, bro. This shit is stupid as hell, fam.
yeah, it's beyond stupid. And if you actually look at all the news articles surrounding it, I mean, they're welcoming it, and I mean, they're shining they shining the most positive of lights on it. Like this is the greatest thing the boxing world is ever going to get to see, and they're acting like this kid is stepping up. You know what I'm saying? To measure on a level of greatness, and then on the other side of news, they're trying to like tone that down because realistically, you know how fucking crazy that sounds. So they're trying to make it out like, oh, it'll be an exhibition fight, trying to stoke the fire a little bit. No matter how you slice it, that shit is corny. And for all of the things that people condemn Floyd for and condemn
Uh-huh.
Tank for, how can you not come at Oscar De La Hoya and how can you not come at Ryan Garcia when they are using him the exact same way and they are moving them along with the exact same blueprint?
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm really gonna piss some people off too. See, I'm glad I'm glad I'm Afro Rican, fam. Cause I can say what the fuck to who I want. But all of these goddamn pro Latino and Hispanic channels, yeah, I'm getting ready to fire their ass up today. Cause y'all turning into what y'all been complaining about. Y'all complaining about all this LDBC shit. Y'all doing the same shit with Ryan right now. Every fucking one of
Man,
them.
because
Every
when
fucking
it's
one of
hot,
them.
exactly, because when it's Jaime Munguia or if it's Ryan Garcia or any one of them motherfucking ears on the end of that motherfucking nigga, seem
Uh-huh.
like that shit is okay, and ain't nobody
Uh-huh.
saying nothing about them. They letting them tiptoe around that shit, and then and here's another thing: this isn't no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. When it comes down to those fighters, it is completely okay to ignore skill and call other fighters who don't use that style that's more threatening to them, you call them boring. So
Uh-huh.
so what am I supposed to say? These motherfuckers are just heavy bags with their head. They just walk forward. They just there to get fucking hit all day. Because
Right.
then that should be the same interpretation when you speaking of those fighters. Then they just fucking heavy bags with the fucking head. They have no fucking defense. If you talk about defense, they're gonna point to a fucking literal gate.
IBT, hold up, bro. Hold up. You gotta be kidding me. This nigga said, did you get mad at Muhammad Ali when he fought Antonio? Hey man, see, these the kind of questions, IBT, that make you and everybody else who get ready to cap for this Ryan shit look foolish as fuck, fam. Cause first and foremost, I ain't mad, and I don't think Mr. Two Hands mad. What we doing is pointing out the double standards in boxing. And with comments like this, when you come out about did we get mad at this and all of that, you supporting this bullshit. You right along with the rest of them. Y'all shouldn't be. Nobody should be arguing with me and Mister Two Hands on this right now. Y'all should wake the fuck up and see that this is the same shit they've been complaining about with the PBC. Wake up, man. This ain't. Y'all
And
shouldn't be coming at us asking us questions. First off, we ain't mad. So what the
look,
fuck you mean? Did we get mad?
Hey, I love how they try to call, call passion, call facts, call it whatever, call it mad or whatever. But see, look, you can say whatever you want. This kid is 2 fucking weight classes smaller than fucking Manny Pacquiao, who's a seasoned fighter, who's been through way better wars, with a million times better fighter. This kid ain't even beginning to get his fucking feet wet yet. And for the fact that this man has just talked about fighting fucking Tank Davis at 130 pounds, he's a 135-pound fighter with an interim fucking WBC belt when he has a fast track to get to an undisputed match. And now you're talking about fucking fighting, and that was already bad enough for me. Now you're talking about fighting fucking Manny Pacquiao, which makes no sense. And Manny Pacquiao was the WBA fucking belt holder, has the full version of the fucking belt, who's been holding it, who hasn't been active for a fucking year now. We're talking about Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao as an exhibition. I just saw an exhibition with motherfucking Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. That made sense. You're not going to put exhibition on top of it and try to dress it up like that, like this is okay. No, it is an impediment to progress, period, no matter how you want to look at it. And you can sit up there and say, I'm mad or whatever the case may be. No, I'm not mad. Bro. I'm just talking sense when it comes to this situation. And if you are boxing fans, how does this make sense? And how does this last move prior to that make sense? Because clearly it's just not about the Manny Pacquiao situation. It is about more than just that. There are a lot of moves that are made in boxing right now that are questionable, that people don't even speak on. But when it comes to these individuals, it just seems like, it's more than okay. And we can paint all of the motherfucking beautiful fucking flowers all around these fucking news articles that we want to. But when it comes to the other guys, they don't get that same respect though. And the shit that he's doing right now is way more suspect than the shit that the other guys are getting motherfucking hella flack for. So I'm just saying, let's point that out. I could give a fuck less what Muhammad Ali did fucking way back in the day. I'm talking about right now.
Silly shit, bro. It's just silly shit to me.
And the thing, and here, you can't even use Muhammad Ali, especially when Muhammad Ali is for all of the motherfucking greatest fucking fighters of his era and several eras outside of that when he shouldn't even have been fighting.
Exactly. He earned the right to take exhibitions. Floyd earned the right to take exhibitions. Mike Tyson earned the right to take exhibitions. Ryan Garcia ain't even fought a fucking top level.
But I see he didn't bring that up when he made that comment, though.
What the fuck wrong with y'all? Now they don't bring that up. When you mad at Muhammad Ali, did Ryan earn anything? Did he do? You know what makes stars get exhibitions? Because they've already done it in the sport, fam. Why? That's why Floyd could go over to Japan and fight fucking Tenshin for $10 million, because he's 50-0 with all the accolades. What the fuck does Ryan have, IBT? Talk about Muhammad Ali. He was the biggest icon in this fucking sport ever.
Absolutely. And as a retired fighter, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't see any problem with you going and making money from the fucking same thing that you, from the same career that you motherfucking put blood, sweat, and tears in. You should be able to fucking continuously make money at the end of your career. If somebody willing to pay you fucking $9 million or whatever for an exhibition across the world, go and take it, because in every other sport, whether it's basketball, golf, or any other sport you point to, they make money after the fucking fact. So why shouldn't Floyd Mayweather be able to do the same thing? What I'm saying is, right now we're talking about an interim WBC belt holder, and we are talking about a WBA full belt holder that aren't even in nowhere close to the same division. Talking about putting on a fight right now, like that makes sense. And I just pointed out the fact that Manny Pacquiao money fight done blew up in his fucking face, and Conor McGregor getting knocked out, so he can't make that happen. So it might be a possibility. Motherfuckers just don't talk to just talk. And for anybody to act like it is okay, come on now, man. Come on now, man. See, where's the integrity, bro?
IBT, look, scroll down 2 hands, because IBT getting out of control here. He said, how has Floyd Tyson earned the right, but Manny, fucking get the fuck out of here. Okay, IBT, let me tell you something, because now you're talking stupid. Now you're talking really stupid. Okay? Didn't I just say Floyd fought Tenshin? Tyson fought another old retired fighter. Ali was fighting wrestlers and shit. You idiot. Ryan Garcia is a sanctioned boxer, fam. This exhibition is stupid. And your dumbass comments support this shit. Or at least gives Ryan Garcia a pass. Don't you hear us talking about what Ryan need to do, and you trying to put it to a Manny Pacquiao thing? Stop being
And
an
see,
idiot,
here's the
IBT.
thing. Hey,
Stop being
D,
a fucking idiot, fam.
I don't hold nothing against him because just like
Nobody
intangible,
holding nothing against you, man.
I
Y'all
know when
really
he
get
walked in
friendly.
here, he didn't walk in here in the beginning of the conversation. I know for a fact that IBT didn't walk in here at the beginning of the conversation. So they didn't hear what was said before that. And I never said that Manny Pacquiao was a cancer to 147. So therein, you're trying to put fucking words in my
That's what
mouth.
they
So I'm
doing. They
not gonna
trying to
allow
make it
I'm
about
not gonna
Manny,
allow you to
bro.
do that while you're
Silly
sitting
shit,
there
fam.
clicking from the motherfucking background. I never said that. I never said that Manny Pacquiao was the problem to 147 because earlier I clearly said that two other individuals should be making a motherfucking fight more than Manny Pacquiao should have to do it because it's not on Manny Pacquiao to motherfucking be saving the division. But if you're talking about making an exhibition happen with a guy that is two fucking divisions smaller than you, when you are clearly talking about making an exit from the fucking sport, what you're telling me is that you're not realistically trying to fight anybody at 147. So what's the fucking holdup? If that is going to be the case, which we don't know it's the motherfucking case yet. If that is going to be the case, then yeah, he should let the belt go at 147. If this you're going to entertain this type of childish shit because it's childish behavior in a motherfucking division where grown men should be getting busy. Period.
Hey, Slither, you see Mr. Two has put that link in the chat, Slither, so you come up here and tell me why I need to shut up. I mean, he got an open panel for everybody. As far as
Yeah,
back to
anybody can
you,
pull up.
yeah, you can pull up, dog. So you could come up here and tell me why I need to shut up, and I could body bag your ass like I do everybody. But as far as you, intangible, IBT, intangible, I don't need you to freaking get me to understand anything. My thing is that IBT jumping in this conversation and he trying to put up comments about us talking about Manny Pacquiao and all this. We ain't even speaking on that, fam. So when you start throwing up comments talking about some, if Ali can do it, if Tyson can do it, why can't Manny get the fuck out of here? Have you been listening to what we've been saying? We ain't going that Manny. So that comment to me is just fucking ridiculous. But that's the type of arguing points that people will use when we come down on this whole fucking fight. They'll start blowing up Manny and talk about, well, Manny deserved this. Ain't nobody fucking talking about that, bro. Like, listen, open your ears up and listen, fam.
That's not what I've been hearing, though. I've been hearing the whole time you're talking about Ryan, and I never even spoke about Ryan. So you're coming after me acting like I'm defending Ryan Garcia when I'm saying that it's perfectly valid for Manny Pacquiao to have an exhibition fight with whoever the hell he wants. That guy can have an exhibition fight with a 2-year-old baby for all I care.
Okay, if he can have an exhibition fight whatever he wants, he can have an exhibition fight with a 2-year-old baby. Should he be holding the WBA fucking full title while he's doing so, or should he just not go ahead and retire and motherfucking have an exhibition?
Has he been mandated to fight anyone?
It doesn't matter. I asked you a question.
It literally does.
No. I just asked you a question, and you talking about has he been mandated?
Title? What has he done wrong?
I didn't say that he's done anything wrong.
What has he done wrong? Why would he be stripped?
No, you talking about what you heard, but clearly, hold on, no, because he's talking about what he's heard, but clearly you must have missed the fucking the topic. You must have missed the whole conversation because I just told you 8 million different ways on why he should.
All right. That's what I say. He jumped in here late.
8 million ways why he should drop the title,
man.
But did he violate? Is there any reason why he would need to drop the title?
You talking about a mandate. You're talking about a mandate. And now you're trying to make this a separate fucking Manny Pacquiao issue when clearly I talked about Ryan Garcia held him accountable. And I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao, if that is in the same regard. You're talking about has he been mandated by the WBA? No, he has not. I can answer that question. But at the same time, if you're talking about entertaining a fighter who's two divisions under you, what sense does that make? And sure, that could be another
makes a lot of money.
Okay, and yeah, if you're talking about exhibitions, and at the same time you brought up George Foreman, you brought up Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and all these other individuals. Were they not retired when they made those fights?
No, Muhammad Ali was not retired.
Okay, I can't speak on Muhammad Ali. I don't know, but the other individuals,
you asked Muhammad Ali, so I answered the question.
I know for a fact the other individuals were.
Okay, but not Muhammad Ali, right?
Okay,
but not Muhammad Ali, right?
I don't give a
shut up. At the end of the day,
is the fucking icon of this sport, bro. Hold on, D. He wants to badger that one situation, but I clearly stated as well that Muhammad Ali has fought every fucking body in his fucking era and every era after. And But does it make it right for
So
fucking
why does
Ryan
it
Garcia?
apply for Muhammad Ali, but it doesn't
you're
apply for
talking
Manny
about- you're
Pacquiao?
talking about
I'm
Manny
not talking about
Pacquiao.
Ryan Garcia. I'm not talking about Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan Garcia is an idiot for taking this fight. I think he gets knocked out in the fifth
Muhammad
round.
Ali pulled up
So
a
what
light
fucking point are
heavyweight,
you
right?
coming up here to argue
So
then?
Muhammad Ali
No,
pulled up
he
a
fought,
light heavyweight.
he fought a guy who
No.
wrestled.
So what point are you coming up here to
Actually
argue
worse.
then?
Answer the question. So Muhammad Ali pulled up a light heavyweight who was green to boxing as an exhibition. That's what
No,
Ali did.
he actually pulled
Is
up
that what
someone who
Ali
doesn't
did?
even
Is
fight.
that what Ali did?
He actually pulled up someone
Is
who.
that what
I'm
Ali did?
answering
Pulled
your
up a
question.
sanctioned
I'm
fighter,
answering your question.
Okay, answer the
No, it
question.
was actually worse, D. It was someone who doesn't fight. It's actually worse.
No,
It was someone
that's
who
not
does not
worse
fight.
because that's what an
Yes, it is.
exhibition
It
is
is so
about,
much
bro.
worse. It is
Not about
so
another
much
fucking
worse.
athlete. It's an exhibition to show you, idiot. It's not a real sanctioned
Okay, so
fight.
did you have
So
an
if it-
issue
no,
when
no, hold
Wang
on,
Hang
hold
and
on,
CP
IBT.
Freshmar were
Hold
having
on,
exhibitions when they're both
Hold on,
reigning
IBT.
champions in the division at the
Hold
same
on,
time,
IBT.
dude? Oh my
Hold on,
God, dude,
IBT.
really?
Look,
Hold on,
IBT, you
Sounds
coming
crazy.
up here and you're trying to deflect from the whole point of the conversation that I was
Do we
making.
have a
I
problem with that
brought
shit?
up several. If you want to make this about Manny Pacquiao and Ryan Garcia, but I brought up several instances when I brought up Tank Davis, when I brought up fucking Gary Russell, when I brought up Deontay Wilder, when I brought up fucking Anthony Joshua. It ain't just about Manny Pacquiao. You sitting to hold on with this thing about fucking Manny Pacquiao. It's about the fact that Ryan Garcia has no business even thinking about entertaining this fucking fight. And if even Manny Pacquiao was entertaining it, what does that say about him? If we're gonna criticize Floyd Mayweather for the shit he did with Conor McGregor and everything else, on top of that, it makes no for all of the problems that we are complaining about in boxing, how does that make sense for either one of those fighters to do that right now? And as Manny Pacquiao being an active fighter, what sense does that fucking make? It doesn't.
Okay, so let me explain, right? You asked me like 30 questions, so you're going to have to give me time to answer them either one by one, or you're going to let me answer all of them at once. What do you want to do?
First of all, I ain't asked you 30 million questions. I said
no, you asked me like 5 at least.
Look, man, do you?
All right, so really, I'm gonna say, all right, I don't know why you're getting like heated, like as if I'm going after you guys. I'm really not.
Nah, it's not because you do this little corny ass shit every time you try. Like I ain't got time to play these little. I ain't got time to play these little kid games with you. Just like, look, man, and IBT, I done been here with you before, bro. So just speak your motherfucking piece, Slim, for real.
Yeah, all right. I'm saying Manny Pacquiao has fought the fighters of yesteryear. He's fought the fighters of his generation, and he's fought the fighters of this generation, and he's won. He's beaten them, right? He actually has the best win out of any current 147-pounder in the division right now. That man has not done anything that would warrant him losing his title. He hasn't violated a mandatory. He hasn't been called to fight someone, and he hasn't fought them. He has no reason to be stripped. If he wants to hold the title, that's fine. There are plenty of examples of current world champions holding their titles and having exhibition bouts. The comparison between Conor McGregor and Ryan Garcia falls through because one is an exhibition and one was a professional fight. Floyd Mayweather is a 6th division world champion fighting someone on his professional record who is 0-0. Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao, either guy could get knocked out, and it does not affect their ranking or professional career in any capacity. Those are different situations. They cannot be compared. I think the smoke should be put on Ryan Garcia for taking this fight.
First, and look,
I'm not done.
Once again, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're not done speaking, because once again, I had to stop you and tell you. I made that point very fucking clear from the beginning of the conversation. Once again, I told you came halfway in. No, you just up here to fucking keep bringing up the same issues that we already stating and bring up all of these other fucking areas on why Manny Pacquiao should, when once again, I fucking already simply stated. We don't give a fuck about all of Manny Pacquiao's accomplishments. Isn't what the problem is. You keep going on about that. We've made this very clear. That's not what it's about from the time I've started, and you keep making it about that. So that ain't it. That's why I must stop you. And second of all, it shouldn't matter, bro. Manny Pacquiao hasn't fought in a whole fucking year. So what I'm saying is, almost 2. And what I'm saying on top of that, and what I stated earlier, if you would have fucking listened, I said it's past the point that we've given Manny Pacquiao all the respect. I don't give a fuck if he hasn't been mandated yet. Because his plans, even if he has been mandated, those aren't in his fucking plans. And he isn't going to be dictated by a mandate anyway if he has big money in front of him on the line or not. So what I'm saying is, if your plans isn't in no way, shape, or form in doing anything in 147, Ryan Garcia, I've already stated on all the reasons why he should be thinking elsewhere anyway. Why the fuck are we having this same conversation conversation about Manny Pacquiao, Muhammad Ali, and his exhibitions with all of the things you just highlighted. I've been saying the whole fucking time.
Because see, and what I was saying before you jumped in here, this is the type of dumb shit when we go after this fight, the fight in general, okay? Because this fight shouldn't be happening, right? Well, I agree with that. Okay, well then agree with it and don't bring those other points and try to say, well, Manny deserves, because that's the argument point.
But why is
hold on for a second, IBT.
Okay, I'll wait. Jesus Christ, you guys can interrupt me, but I can interrupt you. That's
finish,
cool.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Two Hands White, but it's his fucking show. I didn't cut you off, so let me finish fucking talking, okay? Now, what I'm saying is, when we giving heat about this situation and motherfuckers come with your arguments, that helps justify this stupid-ass fucking fight, fam. That's the point I was making to you. I don't want to hear this shit about Manny. It ain't about Manny. You trying to make this shit about a fucking Manny Pacquiao defense. That's the type of dumb shit people are going to do to justify this fight. This fight should not be happening. Do you get that? Do you get it?
And I can't understand. I can't understand how we can paint a picture where, you know, hey, it's cool for fucking Manny to do it, but Ryan's stupid as fuck for doing it. Regardless, it makes it fucking stupid, right or wrong.
Exactly. The fight is stupid, fam. The fight is stupid. Get it through your fucking head.
I already agreed with that. I'm saying you guys are saying he should be stripped of his title, and that's what I disagree with.
I never said he should be stripped. You just put those words in my mouth. I never said he should be stripped. I said drop the title, bro. Don't impede the progress for everybody else, because regardless of what Errol Spence, because I had there's a method behind me saying that, but I never got to get it out. If motherfucking if Manny Pacquiao was gonna motherfucking do an exhibition with Ryan Garcia, and if you're already talking about Conor McGregor for a big money fight, why not drop the title so Errol Spence or fucking Terrence Crawford could get the fucking fight, preferably Terrence Crawford, so both of them can have a fucking belt. Maybe we could get closer to the fucking fight, or somebody else stepping up in the division. There is no point for a 42, 43-year-old man to keep holding on to a belt while he's having all of these fantasy fights, while it's almost been fucking 2 fucking years, while we've already given him the fucking grace period. As fans, I'm not the WBA. I'm talking about me and how I feel. You talking about what I'm putting flame to, which I've never put flame to. If you would have heard from the beginning of the conversation, that's why it's hard for me to sit up here and entertain what you're going on about, because oh my God, man.
Yeah, all right.
And once again, this is the problem I have with fucking boxing, because motherfuckers will sit and fucking talk about the dumbest fucking shit and completely they will be stuck on the fucking frame and completely miss the big fucking picture, man.
Exactly.
The thing is, I literally agree with everything you're saying, except that he should drop the title. I don't think he should. I think he has the full right to keep.
If he holds on to the title, IBT, what do you see? What do you want to see Manny Pacquiao doing while he hold on to the title? If he's going to hold on to it,
fight anybody at welterweight. Fight a top contender. Okay. Fight a champion.
Fight a top contender at welterweight. As a champion, what top contender do you want to see him fight? Because we already know
anybody in the top 10, top 15, even.
As a champion, you want to see him fight a top 10, a top 15 guy instead of going after and unifying with one of the other 2 belt holders?
No, if you're within the top 15. So if you're a belt, I said top 10, 15 contender, or fight a champion.
And what's that going to do for him after that?
If he wins, that's a tremendous win on his resume. Like his career. I don't know. This
I'm asking you this while you laughing it off. I'm asking you this because you want him to see him fight a top 10 or top 15 welterweight, but it's realistically going to do absolutely nothing for Manny Pacquiao's career other than him fight another fucking dude that nobody gives a fuck about. That's why I asked, what would you want to see him do? Because I would like to see there be a point to that, like maybe seeing him unify with Errol, or maybe seeing him unify with Terrence Crawford. Because being a 43-year-old fighter or 42-year-old fighter, I don't want to see Manny Pacquiao fight a fucking top 10 or top 15-year-old dude. I want to see Manny Pacquiao do something that makes sense, because I am more than okay with Manny Pacquiao going and doing all of those other things than holding the fucking belt continuously just to fight another top 10 or top 15 guy down the line while still having the belt. You feel what I'm saying? That's my point.
Yeah. So my first Yeah, my first comment I said is I think we're lucky to see him fight, right? I don't think like, oh man, Pacquiao, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you should be doing right. I feel like, you know what, that guy's done literally everything that people have asked him for. He can do whatever he wants. If he steps in the ring and I get to watch it, that's a plus for me. I'm not
My
gonna ask
brother.
him to do anything. Okay, can
My
I?
brother,
I
I
mean,
agree with you, bruh.
dude,
If I
I
was
think
in
I'm just
front of
gonna like,
you, I would be shaking you by the shoulders like, bruh, I agree with you. But man, being in the space I'm in, only speaking for me, because I can't speak for you. But if I'm going to speak to everybody that happen to be listening in, I'm going to make as much sense as I can make for my fucking self. And hopefully that conveys to other people. It does not make any sense in my mind for Manny Pacquiao to hold a fucking belt. If I'm going off of what you're saying, to see him fight a top 10 or top 15 guy, fight fucking Ryan Garcia, then fight a top 10 or top 15 guy, while there's two other fucking champions there, you already know he's damn near out the door. We always talk about mileage on bodies as fighters and everything, knowing they can only do so much. So really, what is Manny Pacquiao going to be doing by holding the fucking belt just to fight a top 10 or top 15 instead of fighting the #1 guys that already have the belt and fighting Ryan Garcia, prolonging us seeing anything happen with the WBA in the process? I just, for one, can't agree with that, and I couldn't convey that to make sense to anybody else. But I do agree 1,000%. Well, Manny Pacquiao should be able to do whatever he wants to do. But within doing that, bro, I'm just saying, let's close the chapter to one thing and let's open the chapter to another, because that's what that would signify for me.
Hey, let me say this. Let me say this right quick, because I think that from what I said, you know what I mean, and this won't even on this fucking live. So, but I did say, I said this clearly: the WBA should strip him. Now, let me give my logic on this, because I know a lot of people don't believe with this, agree with this, especially IBT. I've also said Manny can do what the fuck he wants in the sport, right? But as boxing fans, we want to see these fucking 20,000 belts they have unified so that we can come down with one champion. Yes, Manny can do what the fuck he wants to do, just not holding that goddamn belt. Why does he have to hold this belt? You guys should be elevated, and he can get in a fight with Spence and Crawford, and then we can see that process move forward. Manny can still run around boxing, fucking getting money. But you motherfuckers are acting like just because Manny has did it all and done it all, he gets to hold on to a WBA belt for 2 years and it don't matter. He can do what the fuck he wants because he's Manny.
And that's the fucking
so
problem,
like
right?
you guys
Because
are saying, well, you know, he got to fight Crawford, Spence, or retire. Drop
did
the
I
belt,
say
right?
that? IBT. I just say he can relinquish the belt so that at 147-pound division
Okay,
can
listen.
move forward.
Why can't I want to see
Hold
him
on,
fight
dog. I
Ugas?
didn't never say he had to fight Spence or Manny, but he should. If they were talking about stripping him, if he goes to see Conor McGregor because it was holding up the division, then fighting fucking Ryan is still holding up the division, and they should strip him just the same.
For me, right? Because it's like
bout. It might be a 5-rounder. They're not trying as hard. They have bigger gloves. Like we basically are watching a sparring match. Like I don't get why he would be stripped. The reason he would be stripped for Conor is Conor's not ranked in the top 15 WBA, right? Why can't I watch him? Why can't I watch? Listen, let me ask. Why can't I see, like, you know what? I want to see Ugas versus Pacquiao. Why can't I go?
Because this is the problem. You gotta do. IBT. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You can want to see that, but for being as knowledgeable as a boxing fucking mind as you are, and for trying to understand fucking both points of argument, because I'm trying to understand. I'm understanding yours. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, we've already given Manny Pacquiao a fucking grace period as motherfucking understanding all the things Manny Pacquiao was fucking done. The WBA have gone far beyond giving this motherfucker a grace period because it's Manny Pacquiao. I just heard Mauricio Suleiman say Canelo gets the perks because Canelo has fucking earned it. It gets past the point of earning it and understanding what's right or wrong. Now, has Manny Pacquiao done anything wrong under the guidelines of the WBA? No. But when it comes to boxing and it comes to fucking the succession of the fucking sport, I'm looking at two motherfucking raw dogs sitting there holding fucking titles. You're wanting to see him fight a top 10, a top 15, a top 10 and top 15 guy because for me, I'm not saying you're saying this, but it wouldn't be a tarnishment on his legacy because he'd be 42 fighting a top 10 or top 15 guy in the WBA after fighting Keith fucking Thurman. Well, in my mind, if he's going to do anything like that, you might as well unify a title, because fighting Ryan Garcia in an exhibition and taking up more fucking people's time, because you got to put this fucking show together, and all of this shit takes time. If you're going to do something like that and then come back once again to fight a top 10 or top 15 at 43 years old, what is the end game here? When you've already done it all as an 8 division fucking champion, why don't you unify the fucking whole division and try to go out like that? Because I will respect you more for doing that than fucking holding up the division to fight a fucking exhibition match and fight a top 10, top 15 that nobody knows. Because Ugas is a top 5. He in the top 10 and top 15.
No, I'm saying within, like anyone, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. That's what I'm saying when I say top 10.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what my problem with that,
he could fight Ugas, he could fight Porter, he could fight.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, even within that, there's a level of danger in doing so. And there's no difference in the level of danger in fighting a Porter or fighting a Ugas than fighting a Spence or fighting a fucking Crawford. So why not do that? Because that's the only thing I see at his age and all of the things he's accomplished that makes sense. Ryan Garcia doesn't make any fucking sense, and holding on to a belt and fucking fighting somebody in the top 10 or top 15 and not unifying with those guys wouldn't make any fucking sense. All it would breed is more question marks and more conversations for the boxing world, the ones that we don't need to have. That's all I'm saying. I agree. Manny Pacquiao has earned all rights, and I've already said that earlier, and you might not have heard me, but in every realm, everything else, nah, man.
And you know what else too? Like, okay, now, like with Manny, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody's arguing the Manny Pacquiao situation. I'm not. But what I'm saying with the title situation is, look, man, just like Mr. Two has said, it should be like a statute of limitations on this shit. Yeah, man, he can do what he want, but for how long, man? It's almost been 2 years. So are we supposed to just let Manny fucking hold the belt for 3 years just because he's Manny Pacquiao and not fight another champion? Because there's also something else we want in boxing: champion to fight champions. So just how fucking long do we sit there and let Manny Pacquiao hold the belt and be okay with him fighting Ryan Garcia's in top 15 opponents, even though they're not champions? How long do we have to do this?
All right, we got a super chat.
So
George says if we didn't like it when Wilder was doing it, we shouldn't like it when Pacquiao was doing it either. I agree. No,
but they do, because they want to give Pacquiao and Ryan a pass on this fugazi ass fight. That's why they argue about this shit.
Yeah, if it's a professional fight, like, and everything I said completely changes. It being exhibition is a key thing for me, right? Because an exhibition isn't going to be 12 rounds. They're not going to be trying to knock each other out, all that good stuff. If it's a professional fight, it's complete trash. Whereas right now, it's just trashy. It's just stupid and trashy. If it's a professional fight,
I have to disagree with you. Hold on, I just want to say this. I have to disagree with the exhibition and a real fight, because you're still getting punched in your head. Roy Jones just said before he got in the exhibition with Mike Tyson, it's like, yo, if you call this because it's an exhibition, if you think it's not a fight, that you're sadly mistaken. What exhibition is an exhibition match with Mike Tyson? And I still feel the same way whether it's Manny Pacquiao or anybody else. You still gonna be punching each other in the fucking face, and I don't get it, man.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I'm someone who really cares about like the stats of a fighter, for example, right? So like champions defeated, top 10 contenders defeated, top 3 fighters defeated, how many years they held a title, how many titles they held in their career, right? So to me, adding Ryan Garcia in there, that's really fugazi. It's kind of like why I didn't feel so great about Conor, because like, who the hell is Conor in boxing, right? But when it's an exhibition, at that point, it's like I said, I feel like I'm watching a sparring clip. Even if they're trying, they're not going to be full force, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So we disagree, right? And it won't affect their like title defenses. It won't, like, Ryan can't become a welterweight champion if he's somehow beaten Pacquiao. If the title's on the line, that is stupid.
See, that's the problem. Because
that might be MMA champ too. That MXBC Unfiltered. That dude, man, that might be him trying to get on this panel. But go ahead, IBT.
Yeah. So my thing, right, is you're saying he might as well fight the champions. And while I like the champions too, one of my favorite fighters in the division is Sean Porter. So I personally wouldn't mind seeing Sean Porter fight Manny Pacquiao just because I think Porter could become a 3-time champion, and I want to see Porter fight Terrence Crawford, and I want to see Porter fight Errol Spence Jr., right? So even though I want those two guys to fight as well, I could also want other guys in the equation. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand why I'm being like called stupid and an idiot for that stuff when it's just a difference of opinion or
I didn't
preference.
call
No,
you
I'm
that.
talking D. I'm saying D.
All right, but this all right. Well, I want to say this, right? You like stats and you like numbers and all of that. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with being a numbers guy. But within like a numbers at the same time, when you're looking at the exhibition, are you not factoring in the numbers that that Manny Pacquiao was 2 weights bigger than fucking Ryan Garcia? So you know the equivalent of his punch is going to be a couple weights weights bigger.
I think he'd knock him out, dude. Honestly,
you know what I mean. So what
Ryan.
I'm saying is, so even within this exhibition, you know what I'm saying, it's still a nice shot in the face, you know, regardless of whether they try to go in there and go all out for the gusto. Once again, that's going back to it being a fight. And here's another thing about stats that, you know, stats can be quite elusive as well, because if we would go fucking 20 or 30 years in time, we would have looked at Deontay Wilder and we would have just looked at, you know, his so-called 10 title defenses, you know, tying fucking Joe Louis, whatever the case may be.
Tying Tyson and Ali.
Yeah, tying Tyson and Ali, whatever the case may be. If that's something, we would have to look at they would be very fucking deceptive, because if we looked at his opponents, we would say that shit is shit compared to the fucking level of opposition that other individuals might have faced. So he might have had an easier journey of getting there. So that's what I'm saying. You know, all the good things don't necessarily lie in the stats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but the stat, like if you looked at the numbers, right, you'd also see Mike Tyson fought Hall of Famers in his run. Ali fought Hall of Famers. They fought top 3. They fought a bunch of champions. Wilder's stats, like he has a decent accomplishments in terms of like heavyweight world champion, 10 title defense. That's good accomplishments. But one of his title defenses was a draw, and that was the only guy in his title defenses that was top 3. Everyone else, it was like barely current or former top 10, and most of them weren't top. Like I feel like half of them weren't top 10. So no, they actually wouldn't glorify Wilder. The stats would show that Wilder has decent accomplishments and bad ratings. Like he hasn't fought that caliber of contenders and world champions.
But see, what I'm saying is, for a person
twice in his career.
But once again, you're going back and relaying a bunch of stats. The point I'm trying to make is, for a casual interpreter who is not even looking at it on the underneath all of those layers in which you just dived into, all they're going to see is 10 title defenses and measure it to that. Maybe they might be the person that just go and run with that and might not understand to the level of opponents, and still might put him if in that same realm with those guys. So that's what I'm just saying. Stats ain't necessarily fucking everything. I love stats and I love numbers and all of that too, but at the end of the day, like, yo, I'm going back to the original, going back to stating what my original grievances were. None of this makes any sense. And when I compare it to when I compare all of these situations, whether it's Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao right now, whether it's Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, when I'm speaking on Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder and them giving up 50-50, or when I'm talking about Gary Russell, even talking about Terrence Crawford, none of these situations are any different than the situations that we're given currently, but they are not given the same amount of disrespect. And therein lies the gray area with me.
Yeah, and I need to go back to this. IBT, do you feel like when you are a champion in this sport that you should be trying to fight the best opponents in your division or another champion to unify? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Man needs to get rid of that fucking belt, because that's my whole point. The WBA said that if he takes on this Conor, and I put a fucking video up, if he was to take on the Conor McGregor, let me get this out. If he was to take on a Conor McGregor fight, that they would strip him, because it would be, like Tuhan said, impeding the process of the 147-pound division, because he's had the belt long enough and haven't fought to keep that process going. Fighting Ryan Garcia exhibition, whether he deserves to do it or not, he should still be stripped, because it is still impeding the process of the 147-pound division, just like the WBA said.
So this is where I say you've got the situation a little The thing that would get him impeding the welterweight division would be if Conor McGregor counted as a professional bout. So that's why I said that's the important
That's
part of
not
it.
what they were saying,
Can
IBT.
you
This
show
is
me
what
the
you are
article?
saying. Okay,
Can you
I
show
will
me
show
the
you the
article?
article.
If
I
he
will
had
show
an
you the article. Okay,
exhibition of
hold on
Conor,
for a second. Hold on for a second, because I'm not confusing anything. You're confusing it.
let me find
Okay,
it.
with that article, you can find it, but that article wasn't talking about if they made it a sanctioned match or any of that, bro. This is your logic on that. This is your logic on that. The whole fucking look. Listen, one of the biggest fights that everybody's complaining about not getting is 4-belt undisputed at 147. Manny ain't helping that fucking situation fighting Ryan or Conor McGregor. Regardless of what you fucking say, IBT, he's not helping that situation.
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong?
You're actually wrong because I'm reading it here. Dude, I'm reading the quote. I have the quote right in front of me. I can put it on screen. It says, however, Phil J of World Boxing News wrote that, quote, as the current WBA welterweight champion, Pacquiao will almost certainly be relieved of his strap if he doesn't defend it in the next few months or if he fights Conor McGregor. So if he fought Conor McGregor, listen, Pacquiao won't be able to defend his strap against Conor McGregor as the UFC star is 0-1 in the boxing ring and is unranked in the WBA top 15. So as long as Pacquiao fights Ryan Garcia in an exhibition bout and then he fights a top 15 WBA ranked opponent afterwards, he would be completely fine. It has nothing to do with him fighting Conor McGregor in an exhibition bout. I can put the link. I've got it here.
Okay, yeah. Rewind to the question I asked you. Yeah. I'm wrong about that. I'm wrong about the article. Hold on. I'm wrong about the article. But rewind to the question I asked you, that I asked you personally, right? Are we talking about him just defending the fucking title? Or are we talking about champions meeting champions? Now, you already agreed that champions should meet champions. Okay, I was dead wrong about the article. I don't give a fuck about that. The point I'm making, he should still be stripped because it's slowing down us. What do we want? Crawford Spence, right? We want
dude.
Hold on. One champion at 147. You even said you wanted that. So I don't want to hear no shit about, well, if he defends, then it's perfectly valid. That ain't what you want. That's not what the fans want.
I already said.
That's my whole point then. So don't fucking sit up here and
no, now you're putting words in my mouth. I don't agree with that.
Okay, well, all right then.
So then we disagree. With it, that's a subjective thing. But the objective conversation about the article and him being stripped, you were wrong about. Subjectively, I don't mind if he fights Yordenis Ugas. I don't mind if he fights Sean Porter. I don't mind if
he's a champion.
Oh yeah, but Pacquiao's the super champion. He's the world champion, right? So sure, if you're recognizing that Ugas is fine, I think Sean Porter is cool too. I think my main guys I would want to see. I do. Like that's what I'm saying. I do. We disagree. So
and see, that's why I said, you know, even in bringing up those names, I feel like all of those are just as mutual of a threat as if not fighting a Terrence Crawford or fighting the Errol Spence. That's why I said, you know,
I agree with that.
What would be his end game here? Because if you were 42, because if you were going to fight one of those guys, that would be saying to me, okay, is this guy continuing thinking about keeping on going? What's going to be his statement after that? Because if you're going to fight somebody that deadly, you might as well go ahead and fight Errol, or you might as well, whatever you feel is the lesser of the two evils, or even if you don't feel that way. I feel like that doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm like, to be 42 years old and have done it all, you might as well go ahead and take one of those two routes instead of, because what's the point of holding on to the belt to fight an exhibition and fight a top 10 or top 15 guy? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. And that's still slowing up fucking 4-belt undisputed, fam. Like, okay, it's fine. Manny would be proving a lot. That would be excellent. It would be great. But he just showed us that beating Thurman, fam. I don't need to see him beat fucking Danny Garcia or Porter. He just showed us that taking the belt from Thurman, bro.
Because this is the point I try to prove to people that probably didn't even see it this way. I try to let people know like this. You got to look at it like this. There's a reason why I got Conor McGregor's picture up there. Because Conor got knocked the fuck out. So it knocked out his bottom line. That was his end game right there, to get paid off of that situation. And in no way was I feeling like Manny Pacquiao was going to forego entertaining messing up that opportunity, because if he loses a fight against a champion or something like that, that kills that purse. Conor McGregor just killed that purse by getting knocked out by Dustin Poirier. So now what is this other option to make big money? Manny Pacquiao is that one name that still demands some form of, that's going to demand attention in the boxing world. So yeah, he might have to try to find some way to milk it in boxing. But I'm sorry, Ryan Garcia ain't it. And fighting anybody else other than the other two champions makes absolutely no sense on putting that type of wear and tear on your body, because at this point, money has a lot to do with, but legacy has to do it as well. And in the boxing world, he's only going to make his top purses fighting Crawford or fighting Spence.
Right. How much money he going to make fighting fucking Porter? Oh, but that's perfectly fine, though. Get the fuck, bro. This
no, dude, like I'm saying, you're saying the title dropped and stuff, right? I'm saying it should be fine. He can defend his title against Sean Porter, or he can unify the regular belts with Ugas, or he could fight. I'm not saying not to fight Crawford or Spence. I don't think you realize that. I'm not saying he doesn't fight those. I'm just think you're holding him to a different standard. Like if Crawford fights freaking. When he fought Kell Brook, were you saying, he's stalling the division? Let Danny Garcia and Virgil fight for instead? No, obviously not.
No, you can't use that as you can't even use that argument, because
you get what I'm saying.
It's Terrence Crawford doesn't even have the option to fight those other fighters. He's over on Top Rank, so we already know where the gray area is in that. But what I'm saying is, when it comes down to it, I'm not. It never boiled down to just Manny Pacquiao and Ryan Garcia. It boiled down to flip flopping in all areas, in every conversation from 2018 all the way up to 2020 to now. In every, I just said 3 or 4 different scenarios. But those scenarios don't get painted in the same light that they did. And that's a problem for me. Now, we can make it a Manny Pacquiao thing, since that's what it turned into. But my thing is, Manny Pacquiao, if I'm a 42-year-old fighter, and I'm not Manny Pacquiao, but I'm using, just hypothetically speaking, and all logic that's just resting within me, what sense does it make to do anything other than unify titles? Your Conor McGregor situation is dead. So if you're not going to unify titles, you can't fight a Ugas or a Porter or anybody like that, because what is that going to do? That's going to be like, well, shit, that's a waste of fucking time. Why even make that fight? You're not going to make the kind of money that you're making, because clearly he's after bread. So if you after bread, you might as well do it the right way, because at this point, that shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like I said, I already agree with that. But concerning the status of him being a champion, that's a different discussion. In terms of who I'd want him to fight, yeah, of course I want him to fight Spence or Crawford. More likely Spence, to be honest. But yeah, I'd like him to fight those guys. See, that's what I was saying. We didn't even disagree from the start. It was just the thing I disagreed on was the exhibition topic for exhibition versus professional fight, and the status of him as a champion. That's all I was disagreeing on.
I never went exhibition versus professional. I believe that you thought that's what, I don't know, that's might have what you have thought. I've always held all of this in the same regard, whether it's exhibition or whether it's professional. All of that shit makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
we can't entertain it right now. Like in length of him holding the title and everything else, we can't entertain that because Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao are both being held in regard. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make no sense at all. And I'm not going to entertain it like that's okay, but sit up there and shit on everybody else like what they did is so fucked up, because regardless of whether it's a professional fight, I believe there are other stipulations that were surrounding the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather situation that made that a professional fight, because it originally wasn't supposed to be.
And then with this argument with the whole Manny shit, it's basically I'm coming out saying this fight stupid, should be happening, mostly because of Ryan and fucking Oscar being hypocritical, turning Ryan into the tank. And then you got guys like IBT coming in here. Well, Manny Pacquiao should be able to do what he wants. This is just a way to justify this fight, fam. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't. Okay, again, IBT, stop cutting me off, though. Okay. I'm shutting up and quiet while you're talking. Okay, because you're not the only one.
Don't say things I didn't say.
Think about this. Think about this, smart guy. You're not the only one that's going to make this argument. Whether you're right on your point about the WBA situation, fucking exhibition versus pro match. You're not the only one who's going to throw Manny Pacquiao and the fact that he can do whatever he wants to justify this stupid ass fucking fight. Do you get it? Right?
Yeah, but can
Okay,
you
so it's
stop
not
putting
about
words in my mouth? I didn't say.
so
Can
it's
you do
not
that
about
first?
the feeble argument. It's about the point that this fight shouldn't happen. Okay, for so many reasons on the Ryan side. And when motherfuckers start coming in justifying, well, Manny can do what he wants, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything but help justify the foolery that Ryan and Oscar are doing, because the fight shouldn't happen.
And here's another thing too. If we're gonna do the whole exhibition versus professional thing, during that time when Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor was the younger guy. He was the UFC superstar, and people had such a belief in his left hand and had such a belief in his hand skills that people genuinely there was a really a 50-50 argument out there that people were genuinely giving Conor McGregor a chance. In this situation right here, nobody in fucking I would never give Conor McGregor a chance, but regardless, that's what it was. In this situation right here versus Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao, this doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even equate up to making, sensible money. If you're a real boxing fan, I don't even see how you would want to even entertain going inside your pocket to pull out of it to give it anything, whether it's an exhibition or a professional fight. It doesn't bring any notches on Ryan Garcia's belt for him making this happen. And I pointed out the fact that this guy is talking about retiring as a 26-year-old fighter, and he hasn't even proven anything in the sport yet. There are so many areas, and my main issue with it is just simply because I have to defend all areas of the boxing world when it comes to these topics, because we shit on Gary Russell Jr., we shit on Gervonta Tank Davis, we shit on they shit on Anthony Joshua, regardless whether I agree with it or not. We shit on fucking Deontay Wilder, Bud Crawford, and the Errol Spence situation and everything else. But when it comes to these situations, we're going to feel completely indifferent about it. I don't think that, no, we can't do that. I'm saying it should be equally as fucked up as the other situations are equally as fucked up. From 147 all the way down to this situation with Ryan Garcia, all of it should be fucked up. And I'm even down to the contracts where people saying this person deserves this and deserve that, where they wanted fucking Anthony Joshua to forego fucking 50-50 to Deontay Wilder when he clearly wasn't in deserving of it. So all I'm saying is, man, it's about the same fucking energy, bro. And I don't see that same energy being kept, because for me, in every article, this match is being exalted. Like, people are really like, they're behind it. But when it came to Gary Russell, he's a fucking joke. When it came to fucking Anthony Joshua, when it come to all of these other individuals, it's negative shit behind it. So that's mainly what it's about. It's about holding people accountable for all of this shit, especially the same shit when it's fucking contrary to what's going on in the boxing world. Like, it's just not cool with me. That's just where I stand in it all.
All right, cool. Yeah, I gotta peace out for now. You guys have a good one. I'll still be in the chat, but that's just where I was coming from. I think Ryan Garcia, probably not smart of him to take this if it's an exhibition bout, if it's a professional fight. I think it's a big deal, very, very bad. I think that fight shouldn't be even sanctioned, really. And I still want Pacquiao to fight the top fighters in his division, but I'm cool with an exhibition bout. Exhibition to me is the important part, because if it's a real fight, then I don't really care. All right, have a good one.
All right, you too. Now, see, for me, there's no way. Now, D, for me, I gotta feel completely indifferent when it comes to that, because there's no way you can put French ranch dressing. You can dress that motherfucker any old way you want to put it, and it doesn't make it okay. Because once again, it's about progress. It's about progress in divisions, and it's about old names lingering over what, you know what I'm saying, boxing is right now. It's come to a point to where it's like, yo, Floyd Mayweather got up out of the youngins' way, and we criticize Floyd Mayweather for just being on the sideline and promoting his youngins. We forget that too. We criticize Floyd Mayweather for promoting his youngins, but we got Manny Pacquiao out here not even fighting right now, and niggas is talking about a situation where we're gonna be comfortable with Manny Pacquiao taking up an exhibition fight, and this nigga ain't fought in damn near a couple of fucking years. holding up the WBA's progress when it could be 1A or 1B getting at that belt. And I'm just saying, or whoever else who gets stepping up to take the belt, all I'm saying is, bro, look, if you want to do that, that's cool. But once again, Conor McGregor's picture is up there because they fucked up the bottom line. So now it's like, okay, let's not pretend like, yo, this nigga's pretending like he wants to think about boxing because he ain't have nobody in 147, no top dudes in his mind when he was about to fight Conor McGregor because he was not going to fuck that money up, period. So all I'm saying is, bro, we got to call this shit straight. When it come to all of them, bro, we can't say Gary Russell, call this nigga long garden gnome Gary and say he a chump for trying to fight Bud Crawford, but then got fucking Ryan Garcia trying to step up and fight fucking Manny Pacquiao, and now all of a sudden they want to dress it and try to say it's an exhibition because they already know how crazy that shit sound. Come on, man, let's be serious, man. Motherfuckers dress up shit a certain way so they can take the sting off of it, but you can't take the sting off of this because it's cornball shit all the way across the board, and that's just how I feel about it, D.
Yeah, and I'm with you too, bro. And I think like I just think that IBT was missing the point that if we going in about this fight in general, bro, ain't nobody trying to hear no Manny Pacquiao defense because this is the shit that people going to use to justify this fight, right? And then that totally it just ignores the fact of the foolery that Oscar and Ryan's doing. Yeah, we can say, okay, Manny can do what he wants, Manny this, Manny that, but that's just justifying this fight. Look, Manny, this is the thing with me, Mr. Two Hands. If Ryan Garcia is telling us he want to be out of here by 26, that's like 3.5 years, fam. So when we look at legacy or what could he have really accomplished in 3.5 years? Nothing. Which means to me he's on a paper chase, fam. So like let's read between the lines here. So this kid is on a paper chase. Now, Manny won't gonna let Conor McGregor that fight go, like you said. Paper chase. And it's not that he's on a paper chase because Manny done did it all, but he's definitely doing whatever he's doing for the rest of his career for the money, right? Okay, two things could happen here. He could get rid of that belt, and I don't give a fuck what none of these fucking Ryan Garcia social media lovers think. I believe a crossover fight with Masvidal or Khabib would bring him more money. He'll beat both of them too easily. So if it's about
big
money,
names, if not bigger right now.
it's not bigger. So if it's all about money and nothing's about legacy for either of these two, because fighting Ryan ain't gonna do a goddamn thing for Manny's legacy, and getting your ass whooped by an ATG ain't gonna do shit for your legacy. If it's all about money for both of them, why are they fucking up boxing? Like, get rid of the belts, go fight Khabib or Masvidal, make all your money and run for president.
Right.
Ryan, you do something with yourself.
And I understand where your energy was coming from, and I don't think you know what I'm saying, because my energy was coming from the same place. But see, because I literally was just talking about that shit before IBT jumped in and started saying what he was saying. That's why I got so flustered real quick, and I wasn't thinking. I was just angry at first because I was just saying how people would sit up there and we would try to fucking white cloak what's a fucked up situation in boxing. And we gotta stop doing that shit. Like, yo, Manny Pacquiao fighting Ryan Garcia, no matter how you chop it up, that shit is wrong. If we're gonna dog motherfucking Gary Russell for really trying to fight motherfucking Terrence Crawford in a real fucking fight, and now all of a sudden they want to try to dress this situation as an exhibition. Regardless, it's wrong. It's impeding progress, and we shouldn't want to see it. And then for a person, and when I asked him the question, and I said, okay, so if Manny Pacquiao isn't going to drop the belt, what would you like to see him do? Because I was waiting for a certain response. I was waiting for him to see him say Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. When he said fight somebody in the top 10 or top 15, what sense does that make? Because you mean to tell me you're going to fight somebody who's equally as threatening and does absolutely nothing for your legacy as an 8 division champion, and you going after money right now? Because he's only wanting to deal with boxing right now, I feel as though, because the Conor McGregor bottom line got knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? My whole thing is like, look, bro, it comes to a point where the old regime must die, bro, and the youngins got to come up. And I understand these youngins got to make their way, but when they forever overshadow with a person who needs to move out of the way, not, you know what I'm saying? Not if he's getting busy, but come on, bro, it's been over a fucking year. But if you're being overshadowed with a person that ain't making no moves, bro, you can't. If Manny Pacquiao was always fucking there, You know what I mean? Of course, these niggas got to make their way too, but I'm just saying, I always hear shit about Floyd Mayweather, and all he doing is promoting his fighters. But I'm not hearing nothing about Manny Pacquiao, and he's just been on the sideline, and he's supposed to be a fighter.
Hey, look, keep it real. What if Devin Haney did some shit like this?
That's what I'm saying.
If Devin Haney was to do some shit like this, all of these motherfuckers would be going, oh, you ain't even fought nobody yet. You ain't get to fight Dio. You ain't do this. Now you want to go fight Manny and some bullshit fight. They be going to eat shit. But now
he born.
Ryan Garcia is supposed to be okay. Like, get the fuck on with
He
this.
born. He ain't fought nobody but Gamboa. Devin Haney needs to be trying to fight Javier Fortuna or Jorge Linares. That's the same thing they need to be saying about Ryan Garcia. And that's what ticks me off about the whole conversation, because nobody is saying, you know, hey, Ryan Garcia, yeah, we saw him fight Luke Campbell, but there's still some holes in his game. I'd really like to see what he would look like against Jorge Linares right now. But if he's not going to fight Devin Haney and go ahead and become a full WBC belt holder and fight Teofimo for undisputed, because what sense does it make, once again, talking about Tank Davis or talking about freaking Manny Pacquiao? Because if Devin Haney was to say anything, like this, matter of fact, what about Devin Haney versus Gary Russell and all the bullshit they got for that shit?
Right. Look at the heat. Look at the heat that Teofimo is catching. Even with the shit Teofimo done, if he was to do something like this, I bet you they'll have a lot to say about it. Even with the shit that he's done proven shit. I bet you there'll be a whole lot to be said about it. Oh, Teofimo want to go fuck around with Pacquiao. He don't want to go see Devin Haney for the undisputed smoke. They'll be flaming Teofimo. But Ryan Garcia gets an interim title shot. That's a shot to fight for the title. He goes off the Tank, runs off the Manny, and it's perfectly okay. Y'all fucking double standard as fuck, bro. Y'all boxing fans.
Yeah, it bothers me, dog, because like I don't understand. I don't understand how people can sit up there and act like, you know, if any motherfucker out here is listening in, shout out to the motherfucking playback gang. If anybody thinks I'm disingenuous for anything I'm motherfucking saying, please pull up on me, because I would like to know where. Because I've highlighted these several arguments to where motherfucking the energy isn't the fucking same. So all I'm saying is, why ain't the energy the same with this shit? Because it's clearly not. Jedi salute.
It's not, because it's not the PBC, fam.
Salute, fellas. Salute, fellas.
What's up, bro?
What's going on, Two Hands? What's going on, D?
Man, what's cool, up, G. What's good with you?
Man, listen, I'm gonna be your lawyer for a minute, man. Listen, this is an asinine fucking fight. Yes, Manny Pacquiao deserves an exhibition, but not against a fucking contender like Ryan Garcia. That's the problem here. Yes, he does deserve it. If he wants to walk away, he can, but not with Ryan Garcia. You got a contender and a trinket holder, and then you got a champion holding some real W, and you're gonna give us an exhibition? Nigga, that's as legal as Biden's presidency right now, dog. Are you kidding me?
Facts, bro. And that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, yo, it's like, when are we gonna walk out of this dark age of this bullshit, bro, and how people entertain it? That really fucking bothers me, because you got one side, really, you got the mainstream majority.
Yeah.
That's like, they all for this shit. And you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be all for no shit like this, but you downplaying everything else these other boys is out here trying to do.
That's crazy. Now, let's look at the bad side of this, right? Because people are saying, oh, well, if Ryan Garcia does good, then that means he could. No, listen. What happens if Ryan Garcia gets his ass beat in the exhibition? Do you know how low? Do you know how sewage stock his whole stock is gonna go?
That 8.3 million followers going out the window.
Word up! You might as well fight him for money. Make it a sanctioned bout. This is an exhibition. What are you scared to touch each other? So you need rules not to?
Facts, bro. And that's why, like, yo, that's why I said, because when all of this conversation first started, Ryan Garcia never said this shit was going to be an exhibition. This shit was going to be a dream fight. And his exact words was, he wants to have the torch passed to him, and he would love for him to be that guy. So how all of a sudden did it become an exhibition? It only became an exhibition because you had to keep in mind the mentality of the hardcore boxing fans who understand this is a 2-division jump, who understands what motherfucking Devin Haney and Gary Russell was about to do and how they clowned him for that. And so it's no fucking different. It's no different. You gotta question the moves.
No different. No different.
Let me say this shit too, bro. Let's say, because I think that this is a long shot. It's like one of those gambling. It's a long shot. But let's take this long shot, right? And say that Brian Garcia slipped a punch in there and actually knocks Manny out, right? Do you understand the foolishness and the hype that's going to go behind this kid? They're not going to want to hear you punch. No, like, I'm being serious. No one's going to hear you punch. But the facts are, it would probably be a lucky punch, and then this kid will be blown up to proportions like he's some great boxer, and he's absolutely not.
I think they staged that shit.
I said the same thing yesterday, Mr. Two Hands. I said if that was to happen, if he was to not Manny Pacquiao, I would be convinced that it was fixed.
If that kid knocks Manny Pacquiao out of the exhibition, son, I'm definitely gonna try to become a screenwriter in Hollywood, son. That's for real.
Yeah, you can make it. You can make it. We living in a world where anything is fucking possible. If that shit happens, come on, man. Jalik, what's good, man? How you feel about all this shit, man?
What's poppin', man? Thanks for having me on. This is my first time coming on here. Shout out to the panel. Yeah, this is it threw me for a wrench, man. It's getting to the point where it's like a circus, bro. Like it's getting to the point because that Floyd Mayweather fight, I wasn't, if you know, I don't got no buzz. And I was thinking, I was like, maybe he gonna hate on Tank because you know how Floyd is. He always got to be the one that get the most attention. I wasn't watching it, and I'm still not gonna watch it. And it's Ryan Garcia, man. It's crazy. It's like it's circus level. Now, what D. Jefferson just said, it is actually a chance if you really break it down. Pacquiao doesn't have great defense, so it is a possibility that he could get cracked in his head and fall. But like Two Hands just said, I don't put past people now for Pacquiao to carry him as well because he old enough to be his dad. You get what I'm saying? And he already got like a relationship where he said he wasn't going to talk trash to Manny Pacquiao. So it's going to be like some things just go out there, do exposition, don't go so hard. So it probably is going to do that. And that's like a mockery of the sport. It's ridiculous when homeboy, believe it or not, Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, aka Justin Bieber, that's one of the biggest pay-per-view. I
call that motherfucker Menudo member number 5.
It's like why would you not fight Tank Davis and do that? But like you said, if it's planned to the sense where he doesn't create any risk, then it's like, okay, they're gonna spin it like, oh, he was preparing for Tank Davis, and he's also trying to position himself. And I get that what you're doing, but sometimes you can you ever negotiate any type deal and you try to negotiate too much and you lose out on the deal. That's what happened too in the days where it's getting crazy, bro. It's weird now.
That's what it is, bro.
You want to prepare for a Tank Davis. You do that shit in fucking sparring, fam. You don't get in there and fight an A2G like my Manny Pacquiao.
You get 100 points. You get 100 points for that one. For real. If you wanna prepare, there's a fucking gym. Straight up. If you wanna prepare, there's a gym, nigga. You don't tell me
number 5.
Word, Menudo member number 5, son. Word up. Menudo member number 5. My man want to come out with, I'll fight Tank Davis. I want to fight Manny Pacquiao. Fucking 5 minutes later, it's an exhibition. Motherfucker.
Yo, fellas, man, I started this series called The Age of Spin, right? And there's a reason why I started that shit. Because if you look at boxing right now, you living in the age of fucking spin, where motherfuckers really don't know what they looking at. Like,
exactly.
It's like, I've heard, it's been more popular conversations around exhibition matches, Logan Pauls, Jake Pauls, Nate Robinson, than your most well-established boxers, the ones that are really trained to go, they can get out there and get busy. It's almost like, what are you fucking here for? Because I'm not hearing no mention of them. It's only Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and exhibitions against gamers.
Yo, Two Hands on the real. The only way I'm accepting this exhibition is if they tell me this is some motion capture shit for the next fight night. Straight up.
Got to.
We got Ioka and Tanaka, they just fought in a fucking massively good fight. Big intentions concerning boxing. And that shit hardly got spoken about. And we got to listen to this fucking Manny Pacquiao and Ryan fallacy.
You know what I'm saying?
Come
you know
on.
what I'm saying? That's like
it's like the music industry. You ever wonder why a guy with way less talent get promoted way more than somebody else? That's basically how it is when you slip money in there. And I'm not saying, believe it or not, I think Ryan Garcia at 135 has a good chance with Tank Davis, Devin Haney, and Teofimo. I'm not picking him to win, but he actually has a better chance of fighting Manny Pacquiao than the thing Manny Pacquiao. He hasn't fought. To be honest with you, Manny Pacquiao already had his career. People tired of seeing him wait. Now, if he's going to fight Crawford or Earl, it'd be cool. Other than that, it's like he's holding up the division. Like, what's up?
That's
bro?
exactly what I just said, bro. It's like, what sense do it make? Why would you fight anybody in the top 10 or 15 or fight Ryan Garcia, anybody, and still hold the belt? It makes no fucking sense.
I have to agree.
You are 8 division champion. You have done every fucking thing in boxing. If you're not going to become undisputed at 147, what's the fucking point of you still being here? Because realistically, bro, you should get your money. But Conor got knocked out. That money is fucked up. So the only other realistic ticket he could get is through Errol Spence or fucking Bud Crawford in boxing. Ryan Garcia, this bullshit ain't it, man.
Check it out. I'm gonna put this in another light right here with this. I'm not saying to accept it because that's a bullshit exhibition, but yes, he's holding up the division by not fighting real motherfuckers and taking an exhibition, no doubt. But at the same time, that's the Grandmaster. And if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are gonna fight, and the meal ticket is the last belt, which is Pacquiao, all right, fine. But don't give us an exhibition, bro. At least get an Ugas for a warm up, you know, keep us a little, you know, titillated and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like a girl. She won't let you go down. You know what I'm saying? And give her the Muppet down there, but she let you go to first base, which is touching the titties, right? I mean, give us a little bit of that first before we get into the action, at least. You know what I'm saying? But don't give us no good night tap kiss on the fucking cheek and say bye. That's what this exhibition is.
Though, why it wouldn't happen.
Go ahead.
Here's the reason why that wouldn't happen, though. He wouldn't fight once again. He wouldn't fight a Ugas and he wouldn't fight a Sean Porter or anybody like that simply because it's too dangerous. It's too much. It's an equivalent. It's an equivalent of a risk of fighting the other 2 champions. So why would you do that? He would rather ball time if those dudes. Because see, that's the thing. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. We don't even know if that's realistically going to happen. I'm more in the 20 percentile range of that shit realistically happening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As of right now. So I'm just like, man, what Manny Pacquiao? Like, bruh, what are you doing? Because if you're going to fight a fucking Ugas or somebody, you might as well fight a fucking Sean Porter. You might as well fight a Errol Spence or fight a Bud Crawford. Preferably fight a Bud Crawford because then you would have to make the situation real.
Word. Right. And you know what would be better is if. Go ahead, brother.
Off of what you were saying, and my logic on this Manny Pacquiao thing. If before this whole Ryan Garcia situation came up, because we seen how Manny Pacquiao was moving. We seen what he was wanting to do. Everybody pretty much know he's going to be Filipino president, and he's trying to pick up this bag off of Conor. Like, let's be honest about this. We see Manny Pacquiao ain't really trying to go 4-belt undisputed right now. We all know that. Like, let's be real about this. If I felt like Manny was really trying to cap his legacy off with that, going 4-belt undisputed, then I would kind of change my perspective on this. But like that don't really seem like that's what's in Manny's plans to go 4-belt undisputed. So with us knowing that, get off that belt, fam.
Yeah,
get off that belt because you're gonna make money, Manny Pacquiao, with that belt or without that belt. Because you're Pacquiao, you're gonna make money, and that's my whole point, fam.
Word up, and Pacquiao, if you want to redeem yourself, Ryan Garcia, if you don't want to be called Menudo member number 5, nigga, y'all need to take off that exhibition and make it an official match, dog. For real. Y'all niggas need to hit each other.
I gotta use that too, Jedi.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
And once again, let's not ever get it confused that the only reason they dressing this thing up as an exhibition is because they got to find a way. A baby boy get knocked out. A baby boy gets stomped out like a goddamn fire in the living room. If baby boy get beat up like that, they got to dress it up and be like, hey, it was an exhibition, a legend versus, you know what I'm saying? A legend versus his lookup or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
They're gonna dress it up 2 hands. They're gonna trans the fucking boxing match, son.
They gonna transgender the whole fight.
Floyd Mayweather. I'm getting ready to blame Floyd Mayweather.
Yo,
Hold on,
Delete.
let me blame Floyd right quick. I want to blame Floyd.
hold on. This is historical. Hold on. Shh. Go ahead, brother.
I know. Now, people like, how the fuck you gonna blame Floyd for this? Well, goddamn, I just found a way. I just been sitting here
And you would. If anybody, you fucking would.
Let's get it. Let's get the blame, baby.
Hey,
Let's get the blame.
Hold on, I gotta speak on that. This is why me and Mr. Two Hands so tight. The first debate we ever had was because I was blaming Floyd, and I'm getting ready to blame his ass again.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
So here we go. If this bitch ass Floyd Mayweather, right, did not fuck Manny Pacquiao.
Floyd, hold up, Floyd. I don't feel like that. Interview me, bruh. Go ahead.
Floyd, all right, Floyd. Let me tell you something, Floyd. If your bitch ass didn't fuck Manny Pacquiao out of that 3-fight deal because he was supposed to fight 2 fights and then fight your punk ass again, fished out of the goddamn deal. Now we got Manny running around out here trying to get his last big money fight. It should have been with you, Floyd Mayweather, you idiot. So I'm blaming you for all of this. Fuck.
Word up. Word up.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. This is what I think with Manny Pacquiao. He's been in debt. We already know the history with him in Top Ring. He has a lot of debt, and he's probably still in debt. That's why he's still fighting like that.
I don't believe in any of that. You know why? Because you got articles talking about this motherfucker buying houses for villages, kid. How?
Yeah, but
how?
Look,
I don't see that. Yeah.
When you Manny Pacquiao, you got an unlimited credit. You know what I mean? Because look, this is the thing. We'll give you whatever you want. This is the one fake ass American dream that all people fall for. Yeah, we'll give you whatever you want on credit. Yeah, you ain't gotta pay. It's because the IRS coming to get all that shit. Bro.
That's the Suge Knight. That's the Suge Knight Tupac plan, nigga. You can have cars, you can have clothes, you can have a house, but you can't have money. No. Treat you like a hoe. Treat you like a hoe. What up? Once you give a female money. Yeah,
that's how you do, man. It's crazy because Pacquiao, it's literally almost been 2 years. I'm like, bro, what is he gonna do, bro? Like, and that's why, as a fighter, Earl Spence and Crawford say fuck Pacquiao and just fight each other. Put me locked on, bro.
Fact.
Like,
and I think. And I think we all can agree here, bro. When it got to like that 1 year mark, we was like, okay, it's Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? We gonna give him Manny Pacquiao. But then, you know what I'm saying? It prolongs a little bit farther, and you just like, man, look, man, this nigga ain't fought nobody yet, bro.
If they
look,
sign,
the grace period is over, my nigga. Like,
word up. But if they sign this fight, if Manny Pacquiao signs this fight, bro, it's not signed yet. It's in the works. If he doesn't change his mind and say, you know what? No, this is for soft niggas. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not fucking with Pacquiao no more, son. For real. My man got to switch up, dog. We need that hardcore motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Teriyaki motherfucking, power, dog. We don't need none of that little, you know what I'm saying? That little seasoning, a little salt on the meat. Nah, man, you throwing adobo, you throwing all types of shit, bro.
Yeah,
come on,
shout
bro.
out
We
my
need flavor.
Filipino niggas. I love that adobo. Yo, man, Jay Blues in the building. Salute, my brother. Yo,
Jay Blues, what's poppin'?
Yo, what up?
What up?
Shout out to Bernie Ice Cold Sanders. He's cold with them arm bars. Y'all gotta put some respect on his fucking name.
Shout out to Mr. Mittens.
Mr. Mittens. Yeah, man. Bernie Ice Cold. I had to give him his props real quick. He's been making around on the goddamn internet and shit. But yeah, man, fuck
politics and punches in the face. We endorse him.
Word up.
Yeah, Manny can do one of three things, man. He can go ahead and fight goddamn Spencer Bud.
Yep.
Drop his fucking belt, go do this horse shit, or just go be a senator and retire, man. Like, it's simple as that, bro.
Exactly.
That's it, bro. Pacquiao.
Yeah, man, and promote Hennessy.
Check this out, Mr. Two. I just this is what part of what I want to tell you when we get off this live. I'm gonna have you fucking tripping, fam. But I was just I'm gonna have you tripping on this one. Though. I was just debating the dude,
about this, right? So I sent him this.
Shout out Ronald Finkley. Go ahead, D. My bad.
Sent him this yesterday. Put that shit up. Put that shit up. For me, Mr. Two Hands. You on your computer, right? Yeah. Put that shit on the screen for everybody.
Oh man, he gonna throw up the Connor, son?
Nah, not this. It's about.
Nah, I'm on my phone. I'm not on the computer.
Oh, okay.
Can you? I still can throw it up, right? Can't you make it like an extra guess or some shit like that?
It's like it should be in the guest section. It just say D Jefferson, but it's a tweet.
Oh, okay, I see it. I ain't getting a notification for some reason. There you go.
Okay, guys. So this Manny Pacquiao, he tweeted this yesterday because I put this big tweet up about Jamel Charlo, and that shit going crazy right now. But this was Manny Pacquiao. Now we could take what we want from this, but Manny tweeted this out. Much dreaming and many words are meaningless. Therefore, fear God. Now, I'm paying attention to much dreaming and many words because Manny ain't said shit about this fight.
That's what I said.
Exactly.
Ryan Garcia. The dream has been coming from Ryan Garcia. So I'm taking this as a subliminal message from Manny saying, man, I'm not fighting that kid.
Yo, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that motherfucker.
Word up, because I don't know PAC in this light, dog, and this light is not fluorescent, dog. This light is like neon pink on some shit. I don't know him under that light. I really don't know. This is what I'm saying. Like, it don't sound right. It sounds like another Danny Garcia talk about, I'm going to fight Manny Pacquiao for 20 million and never produced because Bob Arum later on came out and said, I don't know what he's talking about. He must be smoking the Puerto Rican crack or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what's the problem here? The problem is that you got these young guys reaching for the stars and ain't even touching clouds, niggas. Like, come on, dog.
These motherfuckers ain't even got off the fucking ground yet in a pair of Air Jordans, and these motherfuckers are talking about fighting Manny fucking Pacquiao. They got the game so fucked up out here, and it really pisses me off because it's just like, bro, if you really wanted that, if you really wanted that accolade and that notch underneath your belt, the fast track for you to do so is right there. Because while Manny is consistently buying his fucking time, you could be fighting a fucking Devin Haney right now. Boom. Potentially becoming a fucking WBC champion at 135. Then boom, fighting Teofimo Lopez, really putting some money in your pocket right there, becoming undisputed, possibly, and then entertain fucking Manny Pacquiao. Then the rest of the world and people like me won't have anything to say about your fucking moves. Like, and it's for Manny Pacquiao, it's like, bro. It's time to pack it in, my bro. You and Chi or whatever the fuck your wife name is, y'all need to pack that shit in and go ahead and just live your life, bro. Because at this point, once again, if it ain't one of the champions, bro, it don't make no sense, bro. Just put it like this: Connor fucked you over. The guy sleeping on half of these screens up here fucked you over by getting knocked out.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me running?
That boy got touched by an angel.
Hey, Mr. Two-Head, you said they ain't take off in the Jordans yet. Shit,
they ain't even take.
Them niggas still all in the chucks, man.
Hell yeah. They still on the court. They still on the court while niggas already done scored 3 points on the other side. They still pumping up them damn Reeboks.
These niggas is word up. These niggas is wearing British Nikes on the court, son. That's a foul.
They like, hold up, son. Let me pump these joints up real quick.
Word up. Niggas still fucking Reebok pumping when they should be motherfucking jumping like Jumpman, son. What's wrong with them niggas, bro?
And it's like, yo, so here go right here, right? So I hear everybody calling Devin Haney the email champion and saying all of this shit about Devin Haney, right? And hey, man, everybody can take shots at the boy. But hey, one thing I can say about the boy, he been trying to fight these niggas and getting all the criticism in the world. Some of these niggas ain't been trying to fight him and ain't been getting no criticism, mainly Ryan Garcia. He been at Ryan Garcia's neck and he's got no criticism, and Devin Haney is getting shitted on and sidelined while we talk about fucking Ryan Garcia fighting Manny Pacquiao and Tank Davis. We need to be slapping this nigga in his face with the truth right now.
True. Yo, but
Punch Drunk Live yesterday, they trying to put up that Ryan Garcia protection. You know, Punch Drunk over there with the Latino, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
listen. I'm Latino, right? And I have Cherokee in there, but I must say I don't agree with this shit. Menudo member number 5. The only good win he got he got over Tank and Haney is that he beat a Campbell with a nice body shot. That was very good. This is the only reason why he's looking good. But this is what I hate about the exaggerations now of these fanboys, bro. He just look, Pacquiao is not Campbell, dog. Okay? He's not Campbell. So what do you think is gonna happen to Ryan Garcia, who stutter steps every fucking round, doesn't even know, bro? He didn't know what he was doing with Luke Campbell, bro. They had to tell this nigga slow down from across the ring. What kind of shit is that, dog? No, my man had 3 trainers, bro.
Talk to him, Poppy.
Exactly. Like, this is crazy. Like, come on, bro. These guys are overhyped. We can see this now. These guys need to really fight each other about 4 or 5 times at least, dog, in order to prove something to us.
Josecito Lopez.
That's a
beats
warrior.
everybody Ryan Garcia fought.
That's a warrior.
Now let me repeat this. Josecito Lopez beats everybody that Ryan Garcia has fought.
That's a fact. And I'm liking Josecito right now. I ain't even going to stunt.
So let me clear this up. Keith Thurman, although it was a tumultuous fight, beat Josecito Lopez, and that's who Manny Pacquiao beat. You guys wake the fuck up. Again, I will rewind. Josecito Lopez will beat everyone that Ryan has fought. Seriously.
Yeah, Josecito. Yeah, at 135, because that's like he fighting at 147.
Exactly.
But
That's my whole point.
Let me ask y'all a question, because we diehards, right? And we know how the casuals think. What they're actually doing is they're actually increasing their value. So if just to look at it from a different perspective, Manny Pacquiao is increasing his value because I'm sure he's going back and forth with Al Heyman, trying to increase his value to fight Errol Spence, and then he's also probably talking to Top Rank. So this, with him they're using each other to build their value up. So they are, okay, you don't fight me for undisputed, I can just fight Ryan Garcia and make 20 million or whatever numbers is out there. Let me ask you this from a pay-per-view standpoint. Do you think Justin Bieber versus Tank is the biggest US pay-per-view?
Bro,
do you think
why you gotta ask it like that?
I'd rather see Space Ghost versus Mighty Mouse, dog. For real,
God
for real.
Damn, yo, I got my money on Mighty Mouse, man.
Word up.
Fucking powerful reference. Goddamn Space Ghost, cuz.
Word up. You know what I'm saying?
I like them both.
That was some funny shit. Who said that? Jalik?
Yeah.
Yo, that was some funny shit, son. I wasn't expecting that. He just smoothed that shit up in there like a doctor does with a fucking thermometer in your ass, dog.
Honestly, I can't even say that that's the fight that's gonna move the needle the most. Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. I don't even agree with that. You want to know why? Because when they took Tank Davis down to Black Hollywood in Atlanta when he fought Gamboa to sell him out down there. So you take Tank Davis and put him in Atlanta, of course he's going to do numbers. He got relationships with all the hip hoppers. That's what Floyd Mayweather has, and Leonard Ellerbe have all their relationships. And a lot of those people that came out on their behalf. So when I look at Ryan Garcia, Ryan Garcia has the Mexican community. They will come out for him. But my thing is, he's got that 8.3 million Instagram followers or whatever. I don't know if that necessarily translates. I would honestly think that a Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez fight has more intrigue than a Ryan Garcia versus a Tank Davis fight. I think that fight would sell better, to be perfectly honest, because if you look at him, Teofimo got the gift of gab, and he's already been proven real for his peers, for one, at the age he's at, and he's been proven real to the rest of the boxing world as a hardcore fan, as he proved it against Lomachenko, Masaroshi Nagatani, and fucking Richard Comey, all back to back to back. So he built up his stardom on the low end. And as far as the social media buzz concerned, he already got the gift of gab. You take both of their attitudes and both of the way they fucking talk. Because, like, let's be serious here. Tank is a fucking stuttering fucking fool. Put both of these guys together. Man, that's the fight that sells right there, man.
He can't even hold a mic right, dog.
That nigga don't know what. And look, man, he's so out of fucking water when you put a mic in his hand. It's like looking at a fucking 2-year-old with floaties on in the water, man.
The 2-year-old behind karaoke, dog. You don't know what the fuck he talk about, dog. He be like, I bet the Papa and the Baba, the best of the world. And be like, what the fuck did you say, dog?
It's like, because the thing is that what people got fucked up is they think the young crowd is going to go out and put their money up. Nah, it's not the young crowd that's spending their money. It's the young crowd that's promoting and generating buzz throughout social media. It's the older and the hardcore boxing fans that are putting their money to the sport. These young Instagram followers ain't buying fights, man.
They ain't
Hey,
doing
and
shit, bro.
and two hands. Look, my bad, Jedi. Look,
No,
and
it's
two
all good.
hands. Check this out. I was just thinking about something off of what you just said, bro. That's why I like talking to your ass. So you was speaking of the hip hop, right? The hip hop community. Now let's look at Ryan Garcia's followers, right? This dude's a pretty boy Instagram model. Got like a no, I'm being serious. He got a lot of these little girls following him and shit like that, right? Tank actually had cats in the hip hop community following him.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, who more likely to buy or watch a boxing match? Niggas in the streets or these girls groveling over Ryan Garcia's
The
looks?
whole Mexican
girls.
female community and the
The
girls,
girls.
and it's a known fact. Because if you compare hip hop, if you want to compare, if we're talking hip hop, in the comparison, we're talking about sales. If you want to talk album
Right.
sales, it's a known fact that women buy all of the albums.
LL Cool J, 40 years strong. That motherfucker could drop a fucking record with
Yeah.
him burping
So
and bitches
what
is
I'm
buying.
saying is, here's another element that I left out of the mix when I mentioned Tiafimo and Ryan. If you mention Tiafimo and you mention Ryan, what does Ryan have behind him? Not only America, but he's got a whole fucking country behind him. What does Tiafimo have behind him? Not only a fucking America, and not to mention every fucking 5 boroughs of fucking New York, he's got a whole fucking country behind him. So those dudes are bringing out people, and those people believe because they give them something to believe in. It's bigger than just a boxing match. They're a symbol of we can fucking make it because they did it. So Tank is a symbol of shit. We can do this shit with an Instagram.
But two hands, Baltimore is rough, bro, and I gotta disagree with you. I think.
I'm from the city, so I know.
Yeah,
we from the DMV, Jalik. How you gonna tell us about the DMV?
I'm from the same area. Like, what are you?
Nah, you ain't from the DMV. You are outsider, nigga.
I'm from the outside, but you 45 minutes.
Nigga.
I'm an outsider, but I'm a couple minutes away down 95.
All right. 2 minutes too far.
That's okay, though. Hey, two hands. Listen, Justin Bieber versus Tank Davis. I actually went to the Tank fight. It was sold out of set 1 section.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I said that.
Bro, I really believe that's going to do a milli pay-per-views because one, it has those. They're going to build it up. You know, they always do the Mexican versus the black. You know how they're going to build that up. But from an excitement level, it's very exciting because Tank, one-punch knockout artist, Ryan Garcia, one-punch knockout artist. Now, looking at it from our perspective, we see the flaws in Ryan Garcia, but the casual people that buy it, they don't really even know check hooks, left hooks. They don't really know that right there. So, in my opinion, I think it's the biggest U.S. pay-per-view fight, bigger than I think it actually does more pay-per-views than Earl Spence and Crawford. Now, that's a more meaningful fight on a legacy standpoint, but it's hard to even get Crawford, which I got him as pound number 1. It's hard to get him to even talk and open up. But Ryan Garcia can sell a fight, and Tank Davis got that the Mike Tyson effect in a sense where he can just get people to follow him. They definitely star. So I think it's the biggest U.S. pay-per-view fight in boxing, in my opinion.
See, the only reason I don't see it as the biggest pay-per-view in boxing is because, once again, that's why I highlighted they putting Tank Davis in Atlanta. See, you'll put Tank Davis in Atlanta, but you know what I'm saying? The whole Mexican community, when you've been talking popular Mexican fighters, you normally put those fights over in the West Coast. They probably make that fight in the Staples Center. They probably make it in the MGM Grand. They probably put it in Nevada, Arizona, one of those areas. They wouldn't put that fight over in the Southern. They wouldn't put it in the Southeast. They wouldn't put it in most like, if anywhere, they throw it in New York. You know what I mean? On Tiafimo's behalf because he's A-side. But when I looked at it, just Tank Davis in the whole, Mayweather and them, they're going to promote it. They're going to bring it out. But as far as like the whole value and everything, I don't know right now. If I was to make that fight right now, I don't know if that fight would be as big as everybody think it would be. I know it would bring some eyes to it and people watch it. My thing is the money that's behind it and the people that buy the fights. You're going to have Ryan Garcia has a stronger hold in selling the fight than Tank really has. Tank really don't have no claim on that because, like I said, a lot of his shit, even the fight in Atlanta was comps, and a lot of the artists that came out, they came out on behalf of Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather reaching out. I want to see how many people are going to do this for Tank on their own validity because we've seen that they'll do it for Ryan, and we know that a whole country will travel for a Mexican fighter that they believe in, and that's what I'm saying. And I believe the same thing will go in Tiafimo's favor as well because it's just like Baltimore. We a rough, rugged city, man, but a lot of motherfuckers ain't really coming out and buying them motherfucking fights like that. You know, I don't know. It's a big fight. I just think that it just wouldn't be the moneymaker that it should be right now. And then it's just a division. And then my thing is, with Tank being a 130-pound fighter and, you know, Ryan being a 135-pound fighter, you know, how many people, like, who going to take more stock? What are we going to take more stock in right now? And even the casual fans, they looking at it. A guy that has more fucking shiny metal and a guy that's young, brash, talks as much and is building this following equally, probably that's just on the level of Tank, I would have to say, if not even more. And another guy who's got 8.3 million followers, and he's going against a guy who's supposedly undisputed right now. So I don't know. I would just have to say that it just tips in T.O.'s favor. But yeah, both of them are big fights. For sure.
Hell yeah, Jalik. I just wanted to say, dog, you don't know check look left and check right, but you getting better, Jalik. You know, you getting better.
I see you came in first place, bro. Why you ain't come in first place, bro? I seen the rankings, bro. You fell off.
You talking about the prediction league?
Yeah, you fell off, bro. Come on, bro. You gotta step
fell off, man.
You fell off, bro. Fourth place ain't nothing cool about that. You ain't even winning.
Man, Dolo, salute, family.
But those are, man, when I seen that Manny Pacquiao stuff, it's crazy because with this stuff going on, my tolerance for boxing, it's like certain fights, I'm not even going to play games with you, bro. Listen, and I want to ask y'all a question. Caleb Plant, right? What fight is he doing from a matchmaking standpoint that's preparing him for David Benavidez or Canelo?
Not a fucking thing. Caleb Plant is the biggest fucking disgrace to boxing right now. They got this dude parading around like he out here fighting people. This dude ain't fought a goddamn soul. He ain't even win his goddamn belt from a goddamn soul. Like I said, just because you got a belt, it don't make you fucking tough. Because like I said, fucking Cornelius Brundage got 2 fucking IBF fucking titles. It don't make K9 Brundage the GOAT. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying, so when we look at this shit, we got to look at this shit from a real perspective here. Caleb Plant has done absolutely nothing. Nothing.
I'm not watching on Saturday.
I only got this to say about
Caleb Trax just passed out trying to make weight against Alfredo Angulo in August. And you mean to tell me a fight that is literally over 2 years old, you're going to try to make it right now, mister? I'm only fighting a champion or a mandatory. Man, they can suck my dick and eat a dirty girl's ass, man.
Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around and desert you. That's how these boxers running around right now, Doug. Word up. Never gonna make you cry.
Can't watch that fight, bro.
While they gotta say goodbye. Word. Wilder, how does it feel not having Sophia around, bitch?
How did that just shows you what these motherfuckers really think about us as boxing fans? Because it's just like, fuck it. I could take Caleb Truax and throw him in there with freaking with Caleb Plant, so-called sweet hands, more like Sugarfoot. Throw him in there with Sugarfoot and have the nerve to say this is a freaking title fight. And somebody tell me what fight has made Caleb Trax the #1 in the IBF to where he should be fighting Sweet Hands Plant, and why ain't David Benavidez fighting him?
Caleb Truax is like a journeyman gatekeeper, fam. Like,
like
that's exactly what he is. He's fighting a journeyman gatekeeper as a title defense.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, the lyrics to what I just said describes boxing today, son. I'm dead ass, bro. Bro, these niggas knew each other for so long.
This motherfucker went life or death with Chunky DeGale.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
They gonna promote it as Caleb versus Caleb, and
have you not?
The highlights in there.
I know y'all motherfuckers been in front of a computer screen or something lately. Have y'all not seen them promoting this shit during the football games? It disgusts me. They've been promoting this shit like it is a majestic. Oh my God. Like this is some majestic shit. They promoting this shit like it's some epic shit. I said, you got, and look, this is the thing. This is how they kill people, because people don't know the bullshit that's going on in boxing because they don't pay attention. When that shit came up, my man was like, oh shit. It was like, we got a fight coming on. I said, man, that fight is some straight bullshit. Don't watch it. Don't entertain it. He said, well, if you told me that I already know, that's some shit.
Word up.
He's like, everybody defers to me when it comes to boxing around here. Because where I'm from, don't nobody really watch boxing. I'm the heartbeat of boxing from where I stay at. Like these motherfuckers, man, look, man. They
it's the same
playing everybody, man.
Well, this neighborhood, but a lot of people around here do, because this man. They big on boxing in Ohio. But I will say this though, man. This whole shit, bro. This whole fiasco that we got going on with boxing right now. A lot of this fault is the fault of the fans, bro.
Word up.
A lot of
They
this
on
is
that.
the fault of the fans because you look at all of these channels now that's actually justifying this fight. And I don't know whether it's to save face for Manny Pacquiao or to save face for Ryan Garcia. It shouldn't be trying to save face. You shouldn't try to justify this fight. You should demand more from boxing. You really should demand more from boxing. But when we try to, like, the fact that Two Hands and I have to even sit here and argue about this is the problem. We shouldn't even have to argue about this. This is obviously a bullshit fight. And none of us as boxing fans should accept this.
Right,
Boxing
because
asshole.
instead of hearing shit from the beginning of the topic of the conversation, niggas just went in as soon as they heard Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
And everything the motherfucker was saying was shit that I was arguing the entire time. And the whole topic of this fucking live was exactly what IBT was doing. And that's what bothers me. We're going to sit up here and we're going to try to put a fucking steel curtain around these motherfucking soft fuckers. Fuck that shit. Not calling Manny Pacquiao soft, but I'm just saying the actions are that of a soft individual. If
Man,
that's what
I'll
you're
say
okay
it.
with
I'll
doing.
say it. Manny Pacquiao is thinking sweet, and he need to stop that shit.
He is, yo. It's just like this, bro. When I made that Lomachenko, when I put Lomachenko on the Age of Spin Volume 2, look at the dislikes compared to the likes as soon as I made that shit. I never get more than 3 or 4 dislikes in a fucking video per fucking a couple thousand views. Now you mean to tell me I got over fucking 10 or something dislikes on that video? That's because people can't stomach the truth about Lomachenko. He said it out his own mouth on the goddamn video. He went through with the fucking fight because he fought Linares with a hurt shoulder and he thought he could beat Teofimo. So what he just told you is he slept on him. So everybody going at Teofimo all crazy like Teofimo owes him a fucking rematch when he said it out his own mouth that he took it out of the fucking contract. So what are we talking about here? Man, Lomachenko got to earn his way back just like everybody else. I'm not exalting a nigga who thought he was too confident to go in there and he just thought he was going to railroad this kid. Fuck all that. People got to keep that energy. The way they treat Manny Pacquiao is the way they treat Lomachenko, the way they treat Canelo, and the way they treat Jaime Munguia and all these other motherfuckers.
Hey Jedi.
Yeah.
Don't be so quick. Don't be so quick to say Manny, because remember the tweet that Manny just put out yesterday.
No doubt.
And many words are meaningless. So that's what Manny put out. So it might not be Manny. Still might be thinking like the Manny we know.
But let's not get it twisted here. I made it very clear that I do not know where Manny Pacquiao stands in this situation. And until I do, I'm reserving my opinion on Manny. But if this is something that is entertained in every fucking news article and something that's got to be some validity to it, not saying that Manny's attached to it, Boo Boy Fernandez or Sean Gibbons or any one of those motherfuckers. But what I'm saying is, if there is some validity to it and Manny is fucking trying to soak it up in any way, shape, or form, motherfucker, you better U-turn from it because I'm going to burn your motherfucking ass.
No doubt. And I'm saying it like this right now, bro. These fighters of today need to start, like Keith Thurman and the rest of these guys. Look, bro, y'all salty. Y'all niggas are running around like if you shoving suppositories up your ass for no reason without even being constipated. You just like shitting your ass.
Tucks.
Word up. Like y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying, come out the woolworks, man. Before you say fuck Bob Arum, before you say, you know what I'm saying, fuck Manny Pacquiao, before you even talk about a price range, my nigga, you need to start fighting, because for the last time we know, you got injured again and again and again. Nigga, you the fall guy, nigga. Like you always get hurt. Like chill. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect none of these fighters of today except for the ones that are actually fighting. This Lomachenko, nigga, I love Lomachenko, but you know what, my nigga, shut the fuck up. You done said a lot of things and you ain't standing on it. This is why I say, if these fighters are holding themselves up to a high standard, it's okay for us fight fans to fucking put them on that high standard. But once they knock themselves down and don't live up to it, y'all need to shut the fuck up and do what we're doing and tell the truth on these niggas. Oh, what happened? I thought you was doing this. I thought, what's wrong with that? You know what that does? And if you're an honest fight fan, you understand exactly what I'm about to say. What that does is it keeps your fighter honest with himself. You know what I'm saying? When he hears his fans talking about, damn, man, these niggas ain't buying this, you know, they're like, okay, I got to keep it real now.
And you know, and shout out to Jeff, you know what I'm saying, for bringing up, you know, Joe Smith. Because Joe Smith Jr., we talking about a real blue collar guy here, a guy who owns his own tree cutting company, a guy who, you know what I'm saying, takes his funds from, you know what I mean, his company and funnels in, you know, his boxing career or whatever, and is still going after being a champion. And, you know what I'm saying, the 175 division just came out of a spectacular match with a later Alvarez who will consistently fight you, go hard at you. He's fought them all, fought the B-balls of the world. You know, he goes for it. Fought Bernard Hopkins, sent him out the goddamn ring. I hated him to do it like that, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So, you know, you got a guy like that who gets no recognition, who got all the respect from the real hardcore fans of boxing, but people aren't paying attention to this guy. But then you got a kid talking about retiring at 26, doing fishnet modeling and shit like that, talking about softening blows with exhibition and shit like that, and people respecting this motherfucking clown, man. Only thing missing from fucking Ryan Garcia is an extra bit of fucking slick back hair gel and an LGBTQ sign on Pride Week.
Hold on. Let me stab him a little. All he's missing is a beret, my nigga, a fucking tutu, some motherfucking tennis sneakers, and a little wedding dress, nigga, and just go straight to the dryers with his mom, dog. That's all he's missing.
Them bright ass berets too.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. That's all he needs, kid. That's all he needs, and he's in the category of you flaming ass, ducking boxing ass nigga. Like, I don't understand these kids of today, dog. Like, you can't look. Right now, I'll put, if Hector Camacho, if we could take a time machine, Hector Camacho will bagging all these young niggas at 135. Those are facts. Those are facts. Those are facts. He fucking up Tank. He fucking up Tio. He fucking up Loma. He fucking up everybody, bro. He fucking everybody up. This is what I mean.
Hey, look. Hey,
bro.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that documentary was fire. I learned a lot, man. He was Camacho.
Why? It's macho time, man.
Oh yeah, macho time. You talking about Mr. Shiny Robes with the hands, the hands that move so fast you think them bitches Bruce Leroy glow. Like that nigga ain't play no game.
He was fast, bro. He beat the bro. My man will get up in there and blaze you the fuck up, dog. Like, you was looking like a Mike Tyson character. You know, when they get punched, they looking from left to right and shit.
And bro.
Hey, y'all check this out. This whole shit just got me thinking. Well, I was thinking about what Two Hands was saying about Caleb Truax, right? How the fuck, man, we didn't get this type of promotion for Ioka and Tanaka, fam? Yeah. And I know they smaller guys, but that fight is something that'll bring fans to boxing. Why didn't we get this type of promotion with Zepeda and Baranchik?
Man,
right? You putting all this for the love of God. We didn't even get this promotion for Crawford versus Khan.
D, you know the problem. You want to know what the problem is? It's the same stigma that American fighters have been putting fighters overseas for the long. Well, American casuals have been putting the stigma on fighters from overseas for the longest time. If you don't know their name or it's too complex for you to sound off, they don't have no fucking skill because you've never heard about them. But truth be told, all of the fighters overseas have been really sticking to the fucking basics, fine tuning their fucking skills, putting on the hardest fucking matches, and they are the harder fighters to fucking beat because they are going through the fucking ringer of fighting the tough fights. Now when they come over here and fucking like Korobov fights Charlo thinking he gonna get off on him because he got a complex name somewhat, and he styles on you and shit like that, people don't know what's going on and you try to downplay it like it didn't look like what it looked like. No, it's a lot of these fighters overseas and especially in the Japanese market and shit like that, Philippines, you name it, fucking UK, Ireland, fucking Ukraine, goddamn shit. I'm leaving another one out. Shit, Latvia, all of these motherfuckers is coming up.
It's so fucked up. You're absolutely right, bro. Niggas don't even know who Lloyd Hunnigan was, dog. It's a shame. They don't know who Lloyd Hunnigan. They don't even know who Nigel Benn was, dog.
They can't tell you nothing about none of the
nothing.
Greats,
nothing. Like
it's like lie either, because when I was talking to this cat about Conor Benn, I was like, the UK kid Conor Benn, he coming up. I said Nigel Benn, son. He's like, who?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They didn't know who. I'm like, Nigel Benn, bro. You don't.
The Dark Destroyer,
you don't know shit about boxing, fam. You talking to me about you don't know shit about boxing.
Motherfuckers don't even know who Donald Curry was, dog. It's so sad, dude. It's sad.
That was my man.
Bro, tell me he didn't look like the lead singer from Tell me he didn't look like the lead singer from Kool and the Gang, dog. She's
Automatic.
fresh, exciting. What?
Bro,
You crazy,
Curry.
dog? My man was whooping niggas' asses, dog.
Yeah,
Down
bro,
to Curry, dog.
See,
Bro,
and that's the illusion that America still has. That's the illusion that is propagated, that's still held over the fans of America, that all of the greatest fighters coming from America. That's not fucking true. That's
Right.
not true. They're
Not
in
true.
every fucking area of the world. But here, yeah, we have ours too. But people really need to be looking elsewhere, because it's the ones that you don't know about, like the Masaroshi Nagatanis that, you know, Teofimo getting set up to fight, and he's a fucking dog. He a
Right.
killer. And Felix Verdeo find out by putting him on the canvas 2 times and him getting up and him dropping his ass. So people really gotta understand that boxing is bigger than the Western world. That's why it's called the world of boxing. And if you don't pay attention to the world of boxing, you're gonna be closed off in your thought process, and you're gonna be surprised every time you watch your fucking American fighter get his ass whooped by a name that you just cannot pronounce.
Right. And a lot of motherfuckers didn't know who Azuma Nelson was either.
Oh my God, man.
Hey,
And where he from? Come on. Where he from? Not from America.
Hey, Jetta, I got a question for you. And I mentioned it a little last night because D, he quick to call somebody pillow fister, right? We have Nicolino Loche, right? It sounds like he got Italian origins, Argentino fighter fighting straight in the pocket, hardly no knockouts. How do you think he would compare fighting now? And then, because D quick to say somebody got pillow fist like Andrade, and they just gone. He just picked Teofimo to beat Haney just because of his power. So how I'm trying to school D so he can learn his boxing a little. I'm trying to teach him. But how do you think Nicolini would fight compared now? Nicolino Loche.
Okay.
Against who? Against today's era?
All the top guys, yeah. Because
bro, that would be a walk in the park. I mean, we're talking difference of intensity within the ring at that, at times. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Think of all the rounds Nicolino had to fight. You talking about he came up in what? Nicolino was around the late 30s there, I think.
Bro, the motherfuckers used to fight their weight, bro. 100 and something rounds, dog. Like, come on, son. Niggas under the sun, dog.
How the fuck are they gonna hit him?
He came around. Yeah, I think he was like the late 60s. What Nicolino was he was a 60s era fighter, right?
Yeah.
He
had that ability. He had that Pernell Whitaker.
His
ability.
defense is
like
off
these
the
dudes had the ability.
That's what I'm saying.
To slip punches, uncanny ability.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been easy work for this for that legend, bro. It would have been easy work, man. Just like, look, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, Marvin Hagler isn't the greatest middleweight ever." Well, if you take a good,
one of them.
yeah, like you gotta take a look at this now. You gotta take a look at this. What man besides Monzon, right? What man holds a title for 6 fucking years? People can't beat him for 6 years, bro.
At the time
6
he
years.
did it.
And look at the killers he was going up against, that some of them in Hall of Fame, right? You got to think about this now.
Because we got to remember, Marvin Hagler never got the grace to where he got to go fight for the title or whatever. He fought on all of the top 10 guys consistently for years on end before he ever even got a title shot. So he was consistently in the gauntlet fighting all of the toughest talent, where some other fighters who got fast-tracked a little differently was able to miss some of those tough battles that they would have really been put through the ringer through. Marvin Hagler had to have him pretty much his whole entire career.
No doubt. And this is what I hate about GGG fans, that I'm glad that GGG was a man himself and debunked them little niggas. I can't stand. Oh, the GGG would have fucked Marvin Hagler up. He's great. Are you stupid?
No,
even GGG came out and said, no. Marvin Hagler, he is man. I just coming up. I'm baby compared to him. He said this in an interview, and I'm glad he said that. That's humble, because it's the fucking truth.
Because see, this is the thing. You gotta think.
Yeah.
How many cats is going to be able to go 62-3-2 in the era Marvin Hagler did it in?
And 6 years holding the title without nobody even trying to strip it from you, dog.
2 hands. But why he ain't move up though? I respect Hagler, but I'm telling you this right now. He ain't better than Mike McCollum, and he definitely can't fuck with B-Hop. Why he ain't never? If he's so good, he going to decision with small niggas. but other niggas is like somebody gonna have to break that down because
I don't know, cause see, boxing is derived of like a weird conversation for me because it's just like this whole mystique on moving up, making you great. I think that's bullshit. I think that a lot of times people just always put all this emphasis on you going up and fighting another guy and going up in weight, necessarily makes you great. I'm not a proponent to believe that. It's like I don't know, man. Marvin Hagler, he moved
up. Duran was lightweight, he moved up. So how can you rank Hagler better than Duran, Hearns, and Leigh Leonard? And
well, you gotta understand here, young man. You gotta understand, young man. Listen. You got a man coming from a lower weight. Hold on. You got a Duran who's coming from what weight? You say it again. Go ahead.
Lightweight.
Okay. His frame and his career has enough room to move up, right? Look at Hearns. Look at Sugar Ray Leonard, right? And other greats that came from that low weight class. Now, when you got a man coming from middleweight to move up, it's kind of hard, especially for Marvin Hagler, who dominated the middleweight division. And I'll repeat that word again, dominated the weight division. The problem with today's fighters is they don't close their division. They don't unify. They don't do none of that. That's what boxing is about, conquering your weight division. And if you feel like it, you can do what Marlon Starling did against Michael Nunn and move up and challenge yourself. But it's not really mandatory to move up that's not really a move. That's not really a move where you're like, you have to move up. You don't really have to. Roy Jones Jr. did it from middleweight, went all the way to heavyweight. But look how many years it took him. Look how much time it took him. And when
we got to look at who he was fighting too, because I wouldn't say that fighting Mustafa Hamsho was like, them was no easy matches, man. And then you got to look at like all the people he beat. Like it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to rule. It's not easy to rule a weight class the way Marvin Hagler did it in the weight class in which he did it. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. You really
look at this too, Mr. Two Hands. Let me further school the young buck right here. Listen here. Listen here, young buck. To ask Marvin Hagler also to move up at the time, you got to understand all the weight classes they instituted. You would have essentially been asking him to move up 2 weight classes. To jump 2 weight classes in comparison to today. So you saying that he needed to jump 2 weight classes to prove something to you?
But you do know who Dwight Muhammad Qawi is, right? Shout out to Cam.
No, answer that question right quick. Don't bounce around and answer that question. Do he have to jump up 2 weight classes? Hold on. Answer that question. Answer that question. Don't run from it. Don't run from the question.
Hearns was moving up and he was moving down. Hagler got real long arms, so that's like making an excuse for him.
He had to move up.
He's taller and rangier.
Hold on, let him get it out. Y'all get it one at a time.
He taller and rangier than the Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Dwight Muhammad Qawi was much smaller than him as far as his frame, but yeah, he moved up fighting big guys. Holyfield, we know who it is. But Hagler got real long arms. I give him credit as a middleweight, but to say that he's on a level of Hearns and them when they challenged themselves and moved up, because I'm sure Duran could have just stayed at those smaller weights. So why can't he move up? And
well, you also got to understand he is on a level of motherfucking Hearns and them because he is considered one of the Fab Fours, doggy.
Okay, but he can't be ranked as the top nigga though.
My nigga, he's ranked as the greatest fucking middleweight ever. Why? There's that word right there, middleweight. Conquered that division. You're talking about moving up.
Bernard got more defenses. Resume is the same or better. See the difference between Tito Trinidad, one of my favorite.
Hold on.
He knocked his ass out.
Do you think Marvin Hagler? You think Bernard Hopkins would have beat Marvin Hagler?
Huh?
You think Bernard Hopkins would have beat Marvin Hagler prime to prime? Shit.
Yeah.
It must be crazy. Oh, hell no.
Bro, B-Hop would not even been able to touch Mugabe. What, you crazy?
He would have got knocked out in 3 rounds.
Mugabe would have murdered him.
Mugabe would have broke him, bro.
If you think Bernard Hopkins had what it takes to beat Marvin Hagler, oh, no.
He went in 4 rounds against Roy Jones. So
don't mean shit. Don't mean shit. Don't mean nothing. Roy Jones don't mean shit. Just because the Hulk beat Superman doesn't mean the Hulk could beat Thanos.
In his prime. he got better after the Roy Jones. So Prophet Brown, he'll whoop Hagler ass, bro.
Because if you really want to think about it,
he
hold
will
on,
beat
hold
through
on,
the
hold on. Let
second
me
rope
debunk.
himself.
Hold on. Let me cook right quick. Let me cook right quick. If you want to debunk this whole shit, that fighter that you called by the name of McCullum, you know the reason why he wasn't able to be great, but to us hardcore fans, we know he's great. It's because all these fighters ducked him. Your man Roy Jones, right? Your man B Hop at the time too. That Roy Jones fought him way after the fact, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying though, there are many. Hold on, there are many, right, categories in boxing where you can say a fighter should have and should not have, right? Your man, or should I say my man, Hagler, did the right thing by staying and conquering the middleweight division. All the other guys you're talking about moving up, if you take a look at them, look how they failed. This is exactly why Marvin Hagler looks way better, has a way better fucking legacy than the guys you're talking about that moved up and hardly conquered. Motherfuckers hardly conquered after they moved up. Think about it.
For him to maintain and reign the way he reigned, he couldn't just fight anybody. He had to fight #1 contender after #1 contender. I mean, his resume speak for itself, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not like today, where they could fight a guy that was paid for to jump in the ranking. They was fighting animals coming up there, animal after animal.
Like he came up the real blue collar way in this division. Nobody wanted to get his man title shots. He had to beat all of the best dudes just to get there. Then when he got there, he stayed and reigned and beat the shit out of all the best dudes. So Marvin Hagler, rightfully where Marvin Hagler's supposed to be. Marvin Hagler didn't do no picking and choosing. See, that's what people need to tend to forget. He didn't pick or choose.
Thank you.
He didn't pick and choose.
B-Hop did.
He fought everybody. That's why he was able to build his name up. We forget the situation he had with Lou DiBella and all these promoters. And he was
no, that got nothing to do with nothing. No, it got nothing to do with nothing. That got nothing to do with nothing. Got nothing to do with nothing. You know why? You know why?
The same struggle.
You know why? You know why? Because it is the fighter that owns the promoters, not the promoters that owns the fighters. Those are facts.
Because you talk about the grind that Hagler went to, B-Hop had too. He went.
Those are facts. But I'm saying those are facts, because if they had a problem, if they had any type of financial or any type of promotional problem, that was their promoter's fault, which really falls into their hands. They should have been checking their promoter. How come Sugar Ray Leonard never had that problem? How come Mike Tyson never had a problem making a fight like that? Even the Lennox Holyfield, that only took 8 months for the Nuggets to do, and it seemed like forever for us. How?
Bill Hopkins was 37. I repeat, 37 years old. And he knocked out the great Tito Trinidad in the 12th round. And y'all mean to tell me Hagler ass is going to beat him? Hagler was somewhere in Italy retired, bro.
Bro, first of all, Tito Trinidad, Tito Trinidad moved up. Hold on. Let me cook. Tito Trinidad had moved up. We all seen what happened. What happened? Yo, bro, you're gonna continue to be a sewer mouth nigga and talk over niggas, bro. I'm giving you respect here.
Hey, bro, keep it.
My nigga, no. You need to shut the fuck up and let niggas cook. Let them cook, dog. Let me cook.
Because I'm being respectful to you, bro.
No, you're not. You talking over me.
Cut me off.
My nigga, I will finish you on here. For real.
Nothing in person.
I'm doing it now, nigga. I got my whole fucking gemstone in your ass, nigga. What are you talking about?
Bro, listen, bro.
I got all 5 gems in your ass right now, dog. What are you talking about?
Pause.
Listen, bro. You keep it boxing, bro. Trust me.
Exactly. So stop fanboying out and let me talk. Let me talk. I'm debunking you. Let me talk. Let me talk. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you,
fella,
sir.
let's put it back in perspective. I'll let y'all spar a little bit. Let's get back in perspective.
Now, Tito Trinidad at the time was going through a lot of mental things with breaking up with his wife, 9/11. We all remember that shit. At the same time, Bernard Hopkins was taking this fight in which he shouldn't have had taken. Tito Trinidad had unfinished business at 147. He never should have taken that fight. That fight was not meant to be, just like Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins never should have happened. You understand what I'm saying? But it did happen. So we can actually say Bernard Hopkins beat a fucking way over the hill Trinidad, because Trinidad was finished at this point. Those are facts. Trinidad at the point had a lot of mental problems. See, that's what I'm saying about there's a lot of spots in boxing. Before you even go out and say anything, you have to hit these points, my man. You have to. There are a lot of should-haves and shoulda-have beens. And the fighters that shouldn't have failed. The guys like Marvin Hagler that should and did what they did on Mike Tyson. You see Mike Tyson fucking move down because it got too hard for him to move up. Bernard Hopkins kept moving up and down because at the time his skill was diminishing. We all saw it. This shit was like a seesaw. So he was confused himself. Henceforth, the fight fans were confused with this motherfucker to the point that we hated him at the end. Come on, dog.
Hey,
Are
yo,
you serious?
Can I go? Can I go now? 2 hands. Like
What?
I keep it boxing, bro, because you literally don't know me, bro.
Yo, bro, I don't give a fuck about that. Just speak your shit, dog.
Yo, both of y'all just continue on the topic. Just continue on the topic. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
This
Y'all
nigga
just
right
continue.
here, what did he just make? A motherfucking excuses. That's all
Wow.
he is fighter. Tito
Wow.
Trinidad should have never gotten the motherfucking fight. Do you
Wow.
or Hopkins didn't have problems too? Quit fucking making excuses for your fighter.
Wow.
Hagler is
Wow.
a fighter, but and so is Trinidad, one of my favorites of all time, but he got his ass knocked the fuck out. He shouldn't have got in the fight. Everybody else got problems. Motherfuckers got all types of problems, but you gonna sit up there and you making your fighter look bad because that's like a pussy shit. How many times Floyd Mayweather had broken hands and all these different hands? How many times fighter look at Teofimo. Shout out to Teofimo. He whitewashed Lomachenko. I picked Lomachenko to win. He won 9 rounds to 3. Pussy ass Lomachenko making excuses, but yet Teofimo had a broken ankle, but you don't hear no excuses. So quit fucking making excuses for the fight.
I don't know what you talk about making excuses, dog, because first of all, you just proved what I said. You just proved what I said. He never should have been there. I said that already.
That's an excuse, bro.
I just said that. You just said it yourself too. You just said everything I just said. I said Tito never should have been there. You just said Tito never should have been there. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Motherfuckers be tricking on their girl all the time.
Say that. You did say that.
Well, actually, I gotta say this. Moving up in weight doesn't always mean that it's another step up in competition. Actually, some fighters will move up in weight when their careers have hit a fucking complete railroad. Let's look at it like this. Even though Meldrick Taylor, he went up and he fucking won that match, after he lost to Julio Cesar Chavez, but Meldrick Taylor would have never moved up if he didn't lose to Julio Cesar Chavez. He had to go through another option. So he had to go through another fucking ringer with Aaron who the fuck did he fight in that motherfucking title fight? God damn, it was for the WB, it was for the IBF, I believe. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Meldrick Taylor had to move up, and sometimes people, in most situations, when fighters do lose, they will move up to get another shot at another belt, which means more fucking money to put them right back in contention for a bigger fight. Doesn't necessarily mean that they just moved up because they moved up for fucking greatness. Sometimes it could be perceived to be that way, but it's an illusion around moving up there. Just because you moved up, it makes you a greater fighter. I think that's bullshit. Sometimes it's way harder. It's way harder to clean out of the fucking division than make a fucking jump, in my fucking personal opinion.
Basically.
Yeah, as far as now, and I agree with you a lot on certain situations as far as moving up, but as far as in the context we're talking about, as far as like Hagler and all these different guys, I said he's a great middleweight. Bernard Hopkins, in my opinion, is better. More defenses, better. And
I'm not taking your opinion away from you. That's cool. Just like, in my opinion, I think Hagler beats him. You know what I mean? Like we all got opinions at the end of the day, and all they are is fucking fantasy fights. So at the end of the day, it don't matter because it's just all on thought. Ain't none of it fucking fact. We just going off what we fucking believe. If you think that Marvin Hagler is not accomplished as Bernard Hopkins or some other fighters, that's your opinion. I can't fucking change that. All I'm saying is I just disagree. But that's just me.
Yeah. Who fought the tougher competition at middleweight, Jalik? Hagler or Hopkins?
I say
at middleweight.
At middleweight.
Who fought the tougher competition?
Probably B-Hop or similar. It's probably the same though.
Nah. Jalik, you bugging, fam.
Right.
If you can't admit that, bro,
In his last 4 fights, he fought Ray Leonard, John Mugabe, Tommy Hearns, and Mustafa Hamsho. That was his last 4 fights.
Oh shit, son!
He fought Hall of Famers, Jalik. That was an easy question. He fought Hall of Famers.
Is Oscar De La Hoya not a Hall of Famer?
Okay,
let me ask you a goddamn question, man. I'm not tired of that.
Hall of Famers, bro.
Yo, Jalik.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
You know John Mugabe, right?
John Beast Mugabe, yeah, he was hurt. That's watching that fight. I knew Mike. Watching that fight, Mike McCollum a crush Hagler. I'm telling you right now.
B-Hop versus Mugabe, bro. What happens, bro?
Look at the fight. He was hitting him with that right jab.
B-Hop versus Mugabe, bro. What happens, bro?
I got Bernard.
Of course. How? Break it down.
I haven't thought about the breakdown on that one because
you're not thinking about it, bro. Beast would eat
Thank you.
fucking lunch. He would throw him through the second fucking row. He would jump out of the fucking ring willingly, bro. How many times you see B-Hop take a knee and flop like a fish? And
did you see
against Roy Jones? This thing would get you with the bullshit, bro. He is not in Hagler's class.
Did you see B-Hop get slammed by Antoine Echols? Was a one-punch knockout artist from Iowa. One-punch knockout artist knocking niggas out. He got slammed, hurt his shoulder, came back and stopped him. Did you see the fight?
Was that B-Hop?
Antoine Echols 1 and 2. Very dangerous fight. So Antoine Echols is on the level of John the Beast Mugabe. Now,
what did you just say?
Listen. Nostalgia is one hell of a drug. See, we mix popularity up with being better. Boxing was popular, so most people come to the conclusion that John the Beast Mugabe was better than Antoine Echols and shit like that.
Oh my goodness!
But nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Listen, bro.
Oh man.
Well, what? Come on, bro. You can't.
Bernard would flip flop and go, Jesus Christ, please help me. I can't do this. Marvin he is made of steel. What have I gotten myself into? That's what the fuck he is saying.
This man just said Antoine Echols.
Antoine Echols was solid.
Oh my God.
Against Mugabe. What did he do? I mean, he was a solid contender. We talking about contenders and tough guys. One out, like crazy.
You reaching for the stars, brother.
Nah.
You reaching for the stars.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and
Hagler, look, I'm saying Hagler, and the thing that gets me with Hagler, right? Listen, he knows he's coming in.
Has Antoine Echols ever won a title?
Nah, he was like the -- 1 contender in the sense.
How many losses Antoine Echols got in his career?
No, we gotta keep it in context when he fought.
Never gonna say goodbye.
Antoine Echols fought when?
I'm not saying he don't got a lot of losses, but when he fought,
when did Antoine Echols fight though? In what era?
He fought in the 90s and in the early 2000s.
In the early 2000s, right? Yeah. So I mean, in the 90s and the early 2000s, competition was still kept up with competition, just like it was back when John Mugabe was fighting. You know, former WBC champion John Mugabe. I must say something Antoine Echols never was. So in the same time, if you're gonna mention Antoine Echols, don't disrespect John Mugabe like that, man.
Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie. Desert you.
Because you can't use the argument of the difference in the era stance and stuff like that, because really they fought in the same time if you're going to compare, because fights were still competitive in the late 90s and the early 2000s. It was when they started fleeting away from being competitive and all of the cap and shit started after that. But damn, man, like Antoine Echols, Doja League.
Hey, what you're doing is reverse.
Let me ask
nostalgia, bro. You're going for the newer guys. Just for the sake of them being the newer guys. It's bullshit.
Two hands. Let me ask you this, because you understand inside outside of boxing, man. And listen, bro. We all know that we got and I hate to talk about it. We all know that Sugar Ray was the darling of boxing. If Hagler is so smart, why the fuck he gonna come out there and try to outbox a guy where he know he has his back against the wall? That's equivalent to a nigga from Cuba trying to fight. It's like Laura trying to play around with Canelo and leaving it up to the judges instead of going out there like my nigga B-Hop did against Trinidad. Why would he even come into the fight like that to even leave it up to the judges? That's not smart, bro.
I don't know. I don't feel like Marvin Hagler went out there trying to box Sugar Ray in that fight. I felt like Sugar Ray had all the advantages to do exactly what Sugar Ray Leonard did, with the stay fleet of foot and use his boxing on the fleet of foot. Marvin Hagler was trying to charge that man on the front foot that whole match and just couldn't keep up with him. He couldn't catch him. You know what I mean? And then in the areas where he did catch him, he caught him up against the ropes where he could catch him. But I mean, that's just a tribute to Sugar Ray's greatness. Sugar Ray was a pretty boy, but one thing I would never take away from that pretty boy, he was a fucking beast.
Skills.
And
Highly skilled.
And I ain't mean to cut you off, but look where Sugar Ray is on the ATG list. So this is who you talking about, an ATG.
Yep.
That's who
I
did
love
it to
Sugar
Hackler.
Ray, but Sugar Ray did his career dirty, just like fucking B-Hop trying to be great. Old age got his ass thumped out just the way B-Hop did. The only difference is he didn't go through the ropes though.
Thought that nigga a lesson too. I was like, yeah, nigga, you need to be tired, B-Hop. I get tired.
Yo, that nigga Joe Smith, yo, he fucking.
But it was a young Joe Smith though.
Yo, he's son of Kong, that motherfucker dog. He pushed him straight. Yo, I thought he died, son. Like, because he didn't move for like a good 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, I hope. And I was praying too. I was like, yo, I hope he didn't hurt the back of his head, because that's kind of
like one of those.
Yo, is that when Mauricio?
Bro.
Is that when Mauricio Suleiman went from 4 ropes, from 3 ropes to 4?
He's gonna have a cage match after that. So he go box in the cage
Bro, I was
now.
about to say it was like one of those fucked up jackknife power bombs. It's like, man,
I was like, I hope he's all right. And then like when I saw him actually climbing the steps physically, I was like, thank God, man, because you know what I'm saying. I like B-Hop, man. B-Hop to me,
do. The execution.
B-Hop to me, exactly. B-Hop to me did.
Boy ended his career, fam.
He made some fights that he wasn't really supposed to be in. That's my tip with him. Like certain fights he did, and then he went past his longevity.
Like Roy
you know
Jones.
I mean? Yeah, exactly. That's just my
from the
problem.
same thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just like,
bro, I get tired of fighters just keep fighting. This fucking retire and let the young niggas fight, bro.
So Jaleel, won't you just talking about, the smarts of a fighter? So was that very smart for him to go out like that?
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't ever seen Hagler get pushed out of a fucking ring by a ref before.
Hagler was in Italy doing movies, bro. He was retired.
I'm pretty sure Mills Lane never pushed Hagler out of the fucking ring.
Look, man,
bro.
It's hard to do road work when you're waking up in silk seats, man.
Yo, bro, that's one of the best sayings, bro. That shit stays with ever. And guess who said it? Guess who said that? Yep. Guess who said that, Jalik?
Who?
Guess who said that saying? Marvin Hagler. Once you in bed with them silk sheets, it's hard to do road work because
hard to do road work in them silk sheets.
Word up.
Like when a flirting fighter, when they get rich, they start talking crazy. I'm like, bro, this time for they might start retiring once they get a certain amount of richness. That money does something to a fighter, bro.
See, here's the deal. See, fighters are so ignorant when it comes to their own business and their own finances. They so busy, and that's the thing. They fucking the handlers around them, they cloak them in. Oh yeah, you just need to be focusing on your work. You need to be focusing on your boxing, and never tell them they need to be focusing on their business and their books too. And that's the reason why a lot of fighters get taken advantage of. They're not all scholars, man. They come up through the gym, they get raised in the gym, they learn their life lessons through fucking common sense and bumping their head and trial and error through life. So a lot of them get taken advantage of in that fact. So a lot of these fighters that you see fighting later on in life, they're not fighting because they want to. They fighting because they have to. Because when it comes down to just traits and skills, they don't know anywhere else where they can make the type of money they can make by putting their life on their line for their family. And that's just where it comes. You got to be more fucking savvy when it comes to your money, man, and making sure that you protect you first. Don't leave it in the hands of nobody else. And if I could tell a fighter anything from all of the savage stories that I've heard, make sure you get your own accountant. Make sure you come in with your own fucking lawyer, and you do that shit first before you do anything. I would have them break down my whole contract with my own lawyer. Don't have nobody assign you shit, because that's what gets you taken.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yo, I got a question for y'all. I got a good question for y'all, right? This a young man by the name of Timothy Bradley. Where do you think he fucked up in his career? Because to me, right now, Timothy Bradley probably would have had one of them straps, dog. You know what I'm saying? Had he kept going the way he was going. Where do you think he fucked up to a point that he had to walk away from the sport, bro?
Tim Bradley? Oh man, Tim Bradley. I was looking at his resume. His resume is He should have made the Hall of Fame.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Front though, if you break his resume down, even with homeboy resume, what's his name, Andre Ward. I'm not saying he better, but his resume is up there. Now
That's good.
For a couple of the PBC guys, but Tim Bradley, man, actually he underrated. Actually,
That's what I'm saying. Like
He is underrated.
I think where he fucked up was getting into fights, right, and not being defensively sound, defensively well sound with Provodnikov and shit like that. Bro, I think he retired because he had a brain bleed and he had to bow out silently and never told anybody.
Yeah, I think, bruh, think about that fight with him and Ruslan Provodnikov.
Yeah.
That fight, dude, he refused to go down. He refused to go down. In every instance, this dude he probably was in concussion protocol in every round in that fucking fight. Because every fight he got rocked. He refused to take a knee, kept throwing combinations and punches, coming right back all the way into the 12th where he still refused to go down, and he finally took a knee from a shot and got back up, and he ended up winning by a decision. But that's the type of shit Timothy Bradley gave us every fucking time he jumped in the ring. And it always gets overshadowed because Floyd Mayweather and goddamn Manny Pacquiao existed in that era. But Tim Bradley is one person who definitely deserves his fucking roses. And he never gets remembered for the type of fighter he was. He always gets fucking overshadowed by that fucking first Manny Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit to me.
Not me.
I don't take anything away from Tim Bradley and what he was, but that fight, the judges fucking that's the pinnacle of his career, where the bullshit in boxing stay in that dude's career, fam. Because Manny Pacquiao was so beloved, and it was an atrocious decision because Pacquiao beat him, and it stained him. It stained him, inadvertently. They were just trying to do their business and pull the robbery off, but that stained a guy like Tim Bradley because of who Manny Pacquiao was.
Yeah, man. Like
the crowd. That's why you can't fight for the crowd. They have you talking slow, bro. I was like, because I remember he mentioned he was suicidal or something after the fight, and he wanted to prove to people. That's why you can't be fighting to prove shit.
So at the same time, is Floyd Mayweather smart for doing what he did, or should he receive more flack for doing what he did? Because we got to remember, Floyd went through two stages. He went from pretty to money. In the pretty era, there's nothing you can't say shit about the pretty era. So I always try to tell people to start with pretty before we jump to money, because at the end of his career, we always hear him talk about, he was like, I wasn't fighting for everybody. I was fighting for my family, and I'm fighting for my fucking health. You know what I'm saying? And he even admitted it on his own mouth. He said, when I'm 37, 38 years old, people want me to fight this young 24-year-old champion lion or whatever and go out there and hurt and damage myself. I want to be able to enjoy my family and enjoy my money. So when we say Tim Bradley took damage and he gracefully bowed out and he shouldn't have been in those wars, the ones that we appreciate, we depreciate Floyd for his value and understanding his worth and understanding what he should have did to be better for his family. Because when the lights are shut off, nobody here to give a fuck about you but your family. When you pissing blood, ain't nobody there but your girlfriend. So at the end of the day, we gotta kind of it kind of goes back and forth where it's like, hey, we kind of gotta we gotta kind of ease up off Floyd, because Floyd gave us two eras, and the one he gets criticized about is the last leg of his career. Bad hands, past the age of 30, all of that shit. He don't get talk about when he was making motherfucking Diego Corrales quitting that bitch, and he was completely befuddled. You know what I mean? The two Castillo wars, the fight with Chop Corley, all of the other shit he was doing before that.
Shit out of Gotti ass.
That Chop Corley fight, bro. Chop, he gave Mayweather the business though.
For sure.
And he was bringing, that's one of my favorite fights, man.
And it's crazy because Mayweather said, out of everybody who hit him, he said Chop hit him the hardest.
Hell yeah.
Hey, he said that dude Emmanuel Augustus was his fucking toughest fight.
The drunken master.
That crazy motherfucker. That nigga used to dance and he was tapping Floyd ass up. Pow, pow.
The drunken master, kid. Emmanuel, word up, son.
That's why it's like, man, that's why it's like, for me, bro, it's always so difficult for me. Like, I've never been one of those guys that was for disrespecting Floyd Mayweather, because I'm one of Floyd's biggest fans. And it's because it was for the career that he gave me as a youngin' all the way into an adult, and how, you know what I'm saying? Like, the theory that I gave when it came, and the reason I picked Teofimo to win that fight is for all of the things Floyd gave me on the front end of his career in being great and being all of the things people try to say Lomachenko is, which he's not. Yeah. And then what he became after that into the money era, because when I looked at it, it was like, yeah, Floyd had to fucking learn. He was aggressive, always going for the knockout, heavy punch volume. Then he had to learn to fight on the back foot and use the shoulder roll and all of that shit because his hands got fucked up. And what I'm saying is when it came to Lomachenko, Floyd's fucking skill, he realized that his skill tapped out at a certain point because there's a certain point where skill taps out. And, you know, and that's why I picked Teofimo, because it's a certain point where skill taps out on a fighter. Teofimo's bigger. He's got skill. He's got speed. He's got all of those things. And that's what I'm saying. Floyd Mayweather had to do it both ways. So when I look at a fighter and why I fuck with Floyd so heavy, I would expect any other young guy or anybody that's a fan of boxing that's coming up, that's watching boxing, you would want your fighter to do it the Floyd Mayweather way. I'm talking about fight all of the fucking toughest fights, earn the fucking money, and earn the right to do it the way you did it on the back end, because I don't see any fighters doing it that way, but I see a lot of fighters wanting it that way. But I see Floyd getting a lot of criticism for the way he did it on the back end of his career instead of looking at the whole totality of his career, because it was never nothing that you could just scoff at. Because if Rocky Marciano was so fucking great, then Floyd Mayweather should be fucking hella great then.
Yeah, Floyd.
The Floyd thing with Floyd, he get the extra criticism because he talk and he talk about the A side stuff, and he get like extra criticism on there. You know what
well, he exposed, exactly. He exposed the politics, as well as you know, him just basically just playing that bad guy role where, you know, he was just shitting on most of the fight fans and stuff and disrespecting the great. See, that's where I really didn't look at it. Yeah, that's where he fucked up with a lot of fight fans, like saying you greated them Robinson, Ali, like, you know what I'm saying? That shit right there.
Here's the thing though. Floyd made all of his money off. Floyd didn't make his money off of fame. Floyd made all his money off of infamy. From the time he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he came out there joining the motherfucking in the flag-colored trunks with the sombrero on his head and all of that shit.
No doubt. You know, but all the motherfuckers bit that gimmick off of Macho.
Oh yeah, of course. But but he was smart for doing so, because, you know, as a fighter, you can't just be a fighter. He's proven that you have to find a niche, so you got to make your money as well. So for him to capitalize on that, hey, we live in a capitalist society. Hey, I can't fault that man for getting the American dream, but for him being okay with the fucking boxing fans hating him for how he did it, hey, I can't even be mad at that, because he put all of the blood, sweat, and tears in it on the beginning so he could do it on the back half. That's my thing. It's like, yo, when the other fighters gonna understand that you gotta put on the fucking show before you can make the show dough, bro?
It is marketing. And one thing I hate for fighters, like my favorite fighters, I hate to see them talking slow and they don't really got no money, bro. And I hear about how certain things, their money. I hate that shit, bro. They bring up all the fighters, Chris Bird, Tito Trinidad, all the fighters. It seemed like probably over 90% of them be going broke. I hate that shit, bro. I saw putting the fighters.
Bro, what they did to fucking Tim Witherspoon, bro. And Tim Witherspoon was nasty. Like, that's my boy. Tim Witherspoon was supposed to be. Yeah, he was supposed to be one of the top heavyweights and shit. And bro, they jerked him, bro. They played that man, and that man was nasty. That man could box. When I say box, bro, if you guys have never seen Tim Witherspoon box, bro, he was a big man that was light on his feet, bro.
Oh, Tim Witherspoon was a beast, bruh. Like, yo, Tim Witherspoon was light on his feet, bruh. He excelled, like he mastered the crossbone defense. Like, yo, you got to love. You got if you a fan a motherfucking heavyweight boxing, you got to watch Timmy.
Yeah, I got an interview with him, man, a couple of years ago. It's on my channel, man.
That's dope.
My man is nasty. That's my boy, bro. My man is nasty, dog. Like, his jab, he had a jab in between a Holmes jab with a Frazier jab. Like, it was like a straight hook. Like that shit was an ill jab, son. It was an ill jab that we used to just catch niggas. Man, Tim Witherspoon was a good heavyweight, man.
Tim Witherspoon, the only person to use that jab like Tim Witherspoon recently is motherfucking Joe Joyce.
Joe.
Joe Joyce hit that motherfucker with that Tim Witherspoon jab. Had that nigga head on a snapback.
I got Slow Joe putting it to Usyk, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You? Oh man!
Wow.
Because I remember when did they fight? They fought back in the days in the WBSS, right?
WSB.
Yeah, the WSB, whatever it's called. I was getting mixed up.
World Series of Boxing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what they
I remember
fought
watching that fight, and for real, you know, Joe Joyce was just in it. It was just Usyk speed. Usyk speed was just, you know what I'm saying, more the factor, but it was a pretty even fight. I would like to see how, you know, Usyk would
And
deal
let me
with a
tell you
juggernaut Joe
something,
Joyce right there with heavyweight, that seasoned in heavyweight with top 10 guys.
Let me tell you something in that WSB fight. Joe Joyce, head movement, trash. Footwork, trash. He got all of that's better now. All of that shit is better now. And the jab, he was working in that fight, but not the way he work it now. It's a little bit quicker and a hell of a lot stronger. He got sandbags in them gloves, man. He gonna dent up Usyk. Yo, Usyk head gonna be snapping back, man. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm calling it first. Slow Joe is gonna put Usyk on the motherfucking canvas.
I've been working on my pound for pound, my top 15 pound for pound to give in the mark, which I gotta get ready, give it to him for like the past couple of weeks. And my one of the biggest gripes that I'm having while I'm making it is, where do I want to put Alexander Usyk? Because in a lot of perspectives, he definitely earns a spot on my pound for pound list. But I feel like I was ready to put him in like the top 8, but then I felt like he didn't deserve to be in the top 8 because I felt like there's a lot of fighters that beat him in the top 8. And my pound for pound is solely off of, because what pound for pound truly is it's the fighters at the smaller weight. If they were at a higher weight, do you see them beating these other guys? That's how I've always looked at it, how it's supposed to be. So it's like when it comes to me with Usyk, I think motherfuckers is putting an illusion around Usyk, because Usyk at heavyweight to me isn't deadly. Because when I watched him against fucking Derek Chisora, I watched him fleet of foot a lot, bro. And when I watched him fight Chaz Witherspoon, it took a lot for him to soften Big Chaz up. So for me, it's hard to just throw him in the pound for pound, though he's not at a light heavyweight. You know, though he's not a light heavyweight, I mean a cruiserweight anymore. But at the same time, it's like, yo, he ain't really showed me anything in heavyweight to say that, like, yo, Usyk really belongs to be here. Like, he's a contender, yes. But I'm just like, yo, put him in there with an Andy Ruiz, or put him in there with a Deontay Wilder, or put him in there with a Povetkin or something like that. What does it look like? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Hey, don't ask me. That's not WBSS. It's WSB. It's a 6-rounder, and it's a semi-pro. It's like a pro league, so it's not like the WBSS. That's a tournament style thing there. Different thing, fam. Well, go ahead, Jalik.
To beat Anthony JoshuaVsFury, isn't that automatic pound for pound #1 in y'all book?
No.
Because that doesn't. I couldn't put Anthony Joshua on a pound for pound list.
No, I'm saying though, but a smaller guy moving up in weight to beat Anthony JoshuaVsFury.
If he beat the winner.
Okay.
I'll put him #1.
Yeah, he gets exalted because you're talking about beating the two premier heavyweights in the division, and we all know in the heavyweight division, it don't matter who punch it is. Any one of them punches could knock you on your ass. So you being a cruiserweight coming up and winning a belt in heavyweight, you get exalted on a whole nother level than what any fighter in any other position would.
Yeah, I'll put him at #1 for sure, because that'll be back-to-back undisputed. And for that be the first ever, and nobody never did that shit.
That's like equivalent to Teofimo beating
Teofimo would pass him if he came up to beat Josh Taylor or
that's equivalent to that in a sense, as far as like size and moving up. That's big time, bro.
Teofimo
it's like Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield is considered one of the greatest to ever do it, because Evander Holyfield was a cruiserweight who came up to heavyweight, who was definitely way smaller, almost infantile in size when it comes to the Riddick Bows of the world and everybody except Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? And he put it down up there. So it's just like, it says a lot about a cruiserweight coming up to heavyweight and competing. And in this era right now, in the heavyweights, we have a lot of competition up there. To get through that top 5 or top 6 guys, you got to have some juice with you. So yeah, he would have to get his credit for that.
Yeah, that's big time right there, bro.
Teofimo and Usyk, the only two that got the chance to go back-to-back undisputed right now.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And Teofimo, he's really after it.
Yeah.
because they know what it, and because see, this is why I love Teofimo Sr. so much too, because he understands the fight makes the money. You know what I mean? He's not one of those, he's not a clout warrior. He's an old school train of thought. Put my kid in the best, in the toughest fight, but the best fight that positions him to prosper. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and that he knows, having him beat Lomachenko, then going and clean up fighting whoever he's going to fight within this little turn between Ramirez and Josh Taylor doing their thing. And as soon as it's over, boom, go up to 140 and go for that. Man, that's going to make that kid a fucking megastar, man. If anything, that warrants that kid to have more respect than anybody else in any other division that's moving, because nobody is moving like that. They can have the ambitions to want to move like that, but his actions and his ambitions are matching.
Yeah. Yeah, like if Usyk was to accomplish that, and then he accomplished that behind Usyk, he goes above Usyk. Because for one, he'll do it in way less fights, and he's way younger. Like that shit would be amazing, fam.
Because for me, when I look at Teofimo, I'm looking at Teofimo like Teofimo is kind of existing in the realm of what professional fighters of the old used to do. And I always go back when I mention the 135 guys, rightfully so, to a Wilfred Benitez, because look at the titles Wilfred Benitez was winning at the age of 17 years old. And I'm just saying, if you look at Teofimo's record right now, he doesn't even have fucking 20 fights in his last 3 fights. We got to look at the route this man is taking, and even before then, fighting a Magdaleno, fighting a Tatley and shit like that. Teofimo's had no easy road. He's taking it the tough way with a goal in mind, and nothing has derailed him from doing it. And he's proven everybody wrong except the subtle few that had thoughts in his mind that this kid can do it. And he's done it. And this is what I've needed a young fighter to do in boxing, because it's the only way the sport is going to get moved in the right direction it needs to. Teofimo should not be getting fucking criticized or chastised for him not wanting to make a match with fucking Lomachenko, who is fucking microwave goods at this point. And you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. He shouldn't be getting criticized or chastised for that, when clearly, if we go back through the list of opponents that I've just mentioned, if we look at what he's done, 2 title fights back to back, winning the IBF, then becoming, unified, and then what he's talking about doing afterward, like, come on, bro. How many fighters with 20 fights, 30 fights are even doing that, or even fighting the fights that he's fighting back to back? So it's just like, yo, we gotta shine all our light and respect on this kid, because this is the way that other fighters are supposed to be moving, not only in that division, but in all the other divisions surrounding it. Because for real, it shouldn't take a kid that's 22 years old how to show motherfucking grown-ass men how to move, man. But that's what it seems to take.
You hear that, Jalik? You hear that, Jalik? You hear what he just said to you, Jalik, the leader?
I got Haney to beat him. I've been said it about Teofimo. I respect what he's doing, because I understand the young niggas got to get the old heads. They addicted. Like, boxing is an addiction. That's what I'm just tired of it. It's a changing of the guard, like Two Hands saying. Like, people, let the young niggas go. But Teofimo,
Demetrius Andre need to follow suit of Teofimo. That's what Andre need to follow suit of Teofimo.
And here's the deal: anybody who's been fucking with Two Hands since day one, since I transferred from 3K to balls, to Mr. Two Hands up to Two Hands, and now we Reaper Gang Radio with it, all tied into one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to look at, everybody know that I've always been the biggest Demetrius Andre fan. But it comes to a point to where I've got to take the safety gate off of the motherfucking walls, man. Because look at it for what it is, man. Demetrius Andre, I have all of the motherfucking, I'm a true believer in his skill set, but at the same time, what is he giving me besides a bunch of fucking fighters with casual fans with names that they can't even pronounce and have a fucking question mark of an emoji next to their name in a fucking comic cloud? Because let's look at it for what it really is. He has fought absolutely nobody, and I feel like the biggest test that was on his record was Shalecki. That ain't saying a lot, man. Or Jack Colkay. That ain't saying shit for me, man. Fighting, like, come on. It's at this point, I don't care if it's fucking Sergey Derevyanchenko, because even Jamal Charlo has a lot more to say than you do right now. And that's sad, because I call that motherfucker Wilder 2.0. So what I'm saying is, he's got to fight somebody with a name. At this point, it doesn't matter who it is. That motherfucker shouldn't care what straw that he pulls out the hat of a credible contender. He needs to be fighting them, because he has nobody to say that, like, yo, even being a multi-division champion, bro, you have nobody on your record that I can back that and say you are that deal, other than say I'm a firm believer in your intangibles, not in what your record says.
How old is he, Jaleel?
I think he 32.
33? 33, I think.
I hope
like
all the stuff. I'm the guy. I got favors like y'all, but I don't protect. I'm not a fanager. I don't protect no guys, and I've been saying that I want to see on type of guys. So I'm not D Jefferson where I protect my guys. I don't.
Oh shit, son.
Out, bro.
Niggas been doing more digging than miners out this joint, man.
You get knocked out, bro.
Ah, shit, man. This nigga Jaleel.
As long as a guy, one thing, I hate somebody that make excuses. And if you on some PED shit, but if you go out there and do your best, even if you get knocked out, I still support you. Like you don't have to be no perfect Floyd Mayweather with his perfect skills. That's like fake. That's fake. I'm not like that. You do your best and you lose, and so what? I mean, there's so many fighters I can name that. I mean, from Israel.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, but you got to give us more than Walter Calton Docwa, though. You know what I mean?
This situation is a little different. Hopefully, now, hey, two hands. He did call out Jamal Charlo. They offer him that bread, but like I say, at the end of the day, that's why it's so important. That's why hopefully Shakur Stevenson is putting himself understanding right now while he's young to put himself in a position where he can create the challenges.
Shakur is in the perfect position. Shakur is with Top Rank, because as I always say to all of these young fighters coming up, and people always, can criticize whatever, because most of the time it's always what I consider boxing's left. You know what I mean? The LDBC. What I consider from the fucking left over there, they always try to, act like black fighters need to be with the PBC. That's the promised land where all black fighters are going to make it. But when I really look at a person in their face and I ask them, do you honestly believe that Shakur Stevenson, do you honestly believe that Teofimo Lopez or any of these young fighters' careers would be where they are right now if they were with the PBC? The motherfuckers got a blank stare on their face because they can't really say it's the truth. They can't say that. Shakur Stevenson has already been in a position to be a 126-pound champion at 130 right now, and he's in a position to where he already done took the leash off that shit and said, yo, he wants motherfucking he want Mr. Quit on the head, but he want Jamel Herring. So Shakur, he's in a position to fight Jamel Herring, and he's in the right stable to fight Miguel Berchelt. So Shakur is perfect. Shakur's career path, and that the weight he's in, he realistically can go from 130 to 140 pounds and really secure unified titles. That's the position he's in.
Top rank Bob Arum, because Bob Arum, as much as he's good at matchmaking, they get you a certain level, but it's obvious that he don't even care about Teofimo. He tried to make him look bad against Lomachenko, try to make him look greedy, and try to say, put a word out there that Lomachenko gave him the purse money. Even right now, he's not on the same page. Teofimo says one thing, Bob Arum says another thing. So Bob Arum just comes out of his mouth because Bob Arum is the type that want to control everything and have all the money. So even he would rather Teofimo have a less of a profile so he can control all the money. That's why he's going to try to secretly make him fight the rematch with Lomachenko. So I see what you're saying on that end point. And
that's the thing. He can't force it, though. He can't.
Top rank, bro. Teofimo got to get out of there because
he can force it. Everything on Top Rank, everybody can't put it on Bob Arum because your promoter is supposed to work for you, not work against you. And here's the beautiful thing about, once again, if we go back to early in the conversation where I say people need to be on their shit, and up front they need to understand what their contract is, and within lies what you can do within that contract. Teofimo and Teofimo Senior Father understand that. And one thing people can criticize Bob Arum about, but here are the facts of something about Bob Arum that people tend to ignore. Pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, I can account for at least 7 top-ranked DAZN fights that they put together. I can count for over on 5. I count for over on 5 occasions just last year alone where Bob Arum has sent, whether it might have been, last year was the pandemic, pre-pandemic, where Bob Arum has sent, they've sent their fighters over to ESPN and they've sent them over to DAZN. So you know they work together. The problem isn't Eddie and Top Rank working together at all, because clearly they're putting together the fight right now with Fury and Joshua. Bob Arum is about making the money. And see, when Bob, and this is the thing about Bob Arum, he ain't shy on putting on a good fucking fight, and he ain't shy on making the fucking money. So where there's dollars, it'll always make sense to Bob Arum. So all of the other fucking convoluted bullshit that comes with Bob Arum's name doesn't even fucking matter, because it comes down to the proofs in Bob Arum is willing to make the fight. So as long as his fighters are willing to fight and they willing to do what they want to do, Bob Arum's going to do is he'll get on the phone. He'll talk to Eddie. They'll make the fight. If Eddie throwing that money, Eddie going to make the fight. That's the thing. That's why when you hear people talk about Teofimo and fucking Devin Haney fighting, it's a reality that could really happen, because Teofimo walked right up to Eddie Hearn and said 10 million. He was like, yeah, I could do that. I could make that happen that quick. That's the beauty about having relationships with other promoters in this business. And that's where fucking, PPC have killed themselves, because they've stonewalled this side of the street theory for so fucking long that Deontay Wilder can't even go. When Deontay Wilder goes across the street, and even though you have the highest gate since Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson, I believe, in 1999 at the MGM Grand, you fucking still can't do over 750,000 pay-per-views and break even. And you don't have the stable to continue to do so. So the PBC going to continue to operate within the PBC's realm, because now they just saw that they can't even go past 750,000 with fucking Wilder and Fury. So yeah, they're going to guard their fighters, and it's one of their fighters who got humiliated. So it's like, my thing is, I'm always looking for what every other promotional outfit can do outside of the PBC and what they willing to do with each other. And the PBC, it's more like, yo, they got to show and prove to me that they're going to go mix it up with other fighters, because that's something that they don't do too often.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. Well, I got to make a run, dog.
It's definitely that time to close out. Yeah, man, it's definitely that time to close out. For we've been on this joint for 3.5 hours, man. I said everybody get their closing thoughts off, man. We wrap it up.
Yo, first, let's take a moment of silence for Connor. He's sleeping. But my closing thoughts are, hey, man, look, Ryan Pacquiao fight, bullshit. Mr. Two Hands, thanks for having me on, fam. Appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure, my brother.
No doubt. Well, peace to everybody, man. Thank you, Mr. Two Hands, for having me. Peace to D Jefferson, everybody else on the panel. My name is Jay Blues, Jalik, good spar match, and everybody out there in the chat. God bless y'all. You know what I'm saying? Stay vigilant and gain more knowledge to become wise, man. Peace, guys.
All right, peace, bro.
Peace out, Jedi.
Yes,
peace.
Thanks for having me on there. Shout out to the DMV. Boxing. This is crazy, bro. Like I'm on a certain fights I'm not even watching. I'm starting with this Saturday. I'm not watching that Caleb fight. I'm gonna have to find out with somebody on the internet. I got standards now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not freaking prostitute boxing fan. You know what I mean? But shout out to Two Hands. Make sure y'all subscribe, and peace out to everybody in the chat.
Hey, man, Jalik, you more than welcome to slide through on the panel anytime I'm on, man. I'm glad you came through, bro. Be easy.
And remember, bro, be hot, but crush your boy Hagler, bro.
Duly noted. All right, Jay, anything you got to say, brother?
Nah, thanks for having me on, Two Hands.
Hey, appreciate you coming through. All right, bro, be easy. Hey, man, and as always, man, shout out to the whole Reaper gang. Salute to the whole motherfucking chat. Live is chat in the motherfucking building. As always, man, appreciate all y'all for coming through. And as we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. And here's another thing, man. I'm going to just end this off like this, bro. Don't know, man, look, all you got to do is cut off the TV. You want fucking results, cut off the TV, bro. Let's start holding people accountable for the things they do wrong. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over-exalting all of the things fighters do right, because we know what they do right. But in this business, there's more shit that they doing wrong. And if we don't start curving the wrong shit, it ain't never going to be right. That's a whole lot of rights and lefts for your motherfucking ass. Hey, man, it's the motherfucking boss. Respect, though.